Dragon Ball Apprentice Angel Chapter 321-348. Chapter 321 Kellen. Don't panic, my brother will call the shots for you. Roger handed the IOU to Margarita. Margarita glanced at it and took a deep breath. Another 200-point IOU from the True God domain. What is Wes doing? He actually gave Roger another 200 points, an IOU from the realm of the gods. It's nothing, the sound set sold to Wes was damaged by the high priest. Wes came to repair the sound. Roger explained. Audio. What sound? Margarita has. Point of view. It's the one over there. Roger pointed to the repairman for the 108 broken stereos lying on the ground. You only charge 200 points in the realm of straight gods. Margarita's jaw dropped. When did the realm of false gods become so worthless? I broke the sound, it is worth 200 points of the real god domain. No, this is a friendship price. He bought it for 500 true god domain. Roger threw another major news at Makalita. Makali-chan stopped talking. It's no wonder that when I saw the IOUs collected by Roger yesterday, Weiss owed the most. It turns out that Weiss spent 500 points in the realm of the true gods to buy the audio. Weiss, you can have a snack. You spent 500 points in the realm of the true gods to buy a keen, do you really think it's a good deal? Continue today, Roger asked, looking at Margarita. Of course continue. Makarika nodded, what do you think I'm doing here? Come on, Roger smiled. Margarita loses again by 9 divine realm. Makalikan. Margarita, you already owe me 27. Roger said. I know, you don't have to remind me. Margarita stares. Continue. Roger asked again. Continue. Makalita pirates. After 6 hours. Margarita lost a total of 81 points in the realm of the gods. Margarita gritted her teeth, quickly wrote an IOU, threw it to Roger, and said, I will fly away tomorrow when I come back. In tears, Makalita gave Roger a 1500-point IOU in the realm of the true gods. Makalite destroyed the cards she made with precious materials on the spot, and vowed to never play landlord again. Roger, you're going too far, didn't you say, I'm your ham partner? You beat me so much, do you think it's right? Margarita glared at Roger. Margarita, you feel your conscience and say, I want to benefit you. I've said several times that I can't play anymore, it's because you want to keep playing, okay. You see, Bulma never called the landlord once in order to match you. How about Roger, will I marry you? I don't need to return my domain with God. Okay. Margarita's eyes turned and Roger suggested. Roger. Ruosi said the same thing. Roger sighed, tell me, do you want to be bigger or smaller? Makalita. I'm an angel, I'm going to fight with Russ to be Roger's wife. And, are you still fighting for the big? Margarita is crying. You can rest assured, Margarita, you are my partner, I will not charge you for your divine realm every year, and you can give it to me when I need it. Roger said, stop fooling me, the devil will know when you need it. Makape hummed, if you need it tomorrow, how can I pay you back? Until I inherit the new universe, I don't have to. Roger said, that is to say, I won't use it in the past 2 or 3 years. Now you can feel at ease. That's about the same. Margarita nodded. The 8th universe, planet Ligil. Ligier is a 2-tailed fox, and is also the elder brother of Destroyer Weiss and Vados of the 8th UU, Angel Karen. On this planet, Angel Karen is currently ranked number 1 in the Angel rankings. Of course, the Angel ranking mentioned here refers to the real body field ranking, not the battle aspect. After all, it is the real god realm that angels use the most. Because most of the battles are left to the god of destruction. In these 12 universes, there is no human existence that surpasses the god of destruction. Therefore, the angels rarely fight, and there is no need to fight. Even if they fight, they are nothing but bullying. Bully god of destruction. At this time, Kellen was surrounded by the heavenly stools of the great priest family. Wes, Vados, Myers, and Ruosi also gathered here, I know all about you. Corin nodded slightly. I will find a way to get flowers for everything you lost. Brother Colin, what can you do? Asked Weiss. For a long time, Lord Quanwang and Lord Grand Priest have felt that we currently have too many universes, which is prone to problems in management. I am afraid that after a while, Lord Quanwang may wipe out those redundant universes. Corin said, when the time comes, the erased universe, the god of destruction and the Kaio god will all disappear. Of course, we're angels and we'll be fine. Does erasing the universe have anything to do with getting back what we lost? Asked Vados. I plan to ask Lord Quanwang to hold a competition of human beings in various universes, and the lost universe will be erased. In this way, we can compete with Roger during the competition. Corin smiled softly, with endless confidence hanging from the danger. Brother Colin, do you mean to fight Roger? Weiss asked if fighting between angels is not allowed. Besides, I still have self-knowledge. Kellen smiled. I know that Roger is the last archangel, the power of the angel is much higher than me, although I am also a fighting genius, but I am afraid that I am not his opponent. Don't worry, I won't be stupid enough to challenge Roger, that's a relief for Wes and others. So, you mean 7 inches? Vados asked, to let humans compete. You don't want to race too, do you? Well done, pig race. Vados, you are right. Corin nods to Barges. Myers. What's your expression like? Do you think I will lose to Roger? Kellen frowned. It's true that he wasn't angry. We thought the same thing at the time. We all thought we would not lose. As a result, Weiss sighed that I'm different from you. Don't worry, I'm sure enough. Karen waved his hand. You guys also go back and prepare. The lost universe will be wiped out. Take the time to let the human beings in your universe earnestly cultivate. By the way, your 6th universe and 7th UDA, in the universe, the overall rating is the lowest. Only the 9th universe is below you. Therefore, you should take good care of your universe, otherwise, if Lord Quanwang does not agree to hold the competition, the first batch will be wiped out. The lost universe will have you. Vados. Door. Chapter 322 Great Priest, you are so black. On the same day, Whis returned to the 7th universe, and took the repaired audio Whis from Bulma. By the way. Didn't you ask your father, when will the award be given to me? Roger asked. Cough, cough, it's fine, Roger, just ask Lord Grand Shrine in person. Weiss gave a wry smile, and the sound quickly left. Roger felt that it was really good to discuss this matter with the Grand Priest. Immediately, Roger dialed the number of the Grand Priest. God, what about the award ceremony? Asked Roger. Soon, the Great Priest said with a smile. Are you a foreign worker? Roger said angrily. But Roger, don't mention it. The last time you taught the core of the new universe, the rotation speed of the core of the new universe was synchronized with our 12 universes, and the recent 880 time, and a living planet was born. The Great Shrine quickly changed the subject. A living planet. Roger was slightly startled and asked, how many days have passed? How could life be born so quickly? Perhaps it is because of the hard work of the core of the universe. Grand Shrine smiled. Roger, why don't you come and have a look? Okay, let's go over there. Roger sighed. However, it will take 20 minutes to fly over there. Great Priest, your reputation is also idle, come and pick me up. No time. The Great Priest decisively rejected me. Even if I was free, I would not pick you up. My dignified Grand Shrine, you treat me as a means of transportation. Besides, you have so many things for my children, you are too embarrassed to let me pick you up. What are you busy with? For you, teleportation is just a momentary thing. Roger said. Yes, pick you up once, 1,000 points of True God domain. The Great Shrine returns to the Great Shrine, you are so black. Roger shouted angrily. You sell a set of speakers to Wes for 500 True God domain, I will pick you up, 1,000 True God domain is not too much, right? The Great Shrine said with a dark face. Forget it, I'll take the time to learn teleportation. Roger said, the scepter in his hand differentiated into a projection. The picture in the projection is the real King God Shen. Realm King God, please come over here. Roger greeted Roji Wangshan. Ah, yes. Is it Angel Roger? Realm God Xian was shocked, and quickly nodded vigorously. Realm God Xian appeared by teleportation and appeared beside Roger in a flash. Ask Angel Roger, are you? What is your order? Xian bowed and asked, can he go to the palace of the Grand Priest? Roger pointed to the Grand Priest where the palace of the Grand Priest is located. The High Priest knows what Roger is going to do. How lazy are you? You want the Realm God to send you. But think about it, it should be free. I have to figure out a way to get that kid from Kai Wangshan to pay for errands. Ah, Grand Priest. Xian hurriedly knelt down. Very scary. Is that guy really a High Priest? Heath is shaking. I brought Roger here in person, and I need to pay me 1,000 True God domain. You took my job, how much do you plan to charge? The Great Shrine looked at the Kaiwang God in a dark and dangerous manner. Kaiwang Shen sweaty. I charge more. Dare I take it? I dare not offend Roger. If I don't take it, I gave the Great Priest to ink. Xian thought about the consequences of this. Just the eyeballs, just fainted. Great Shrine, look, you scared him out. Roger is okay, get up quickly, bring Roger over as soon as possible, this time the errand fee will be ignored. The Great Priest said, causing his feet to interrupt the video. Xian opened his eyes and wished to stand up in shock, cold sweat on his face and body. What are you afraid of? He won't eat you again. Roger rode. Angel Roger, you don't know something last time. Xian just said here, and saw Roger's angel scepter automatically flashing the voice and smile of the Great Priest. Xian's camera hole shrank, and the next words could not be said. The Great Priest disappeared again. Well, Angel Roger, I'll take you there as soon as possible. Xian was so scared that his eyes turned purple. Can you perform teleportation? Roger said angrily and let me calm down. Xian said deeply, take a deep breath. 10 minutes later. Okay, Angel Roger, it's time to go, Xian rode. Xian took Roger and appeared in the palace where the High Priest was in a flash. Then, Xian quickly knelt down in front of the High Priest to excuse himself. The Grand Priest waved his hand. Thank you, the Great Priest. Xian stood up tremblingly. Kneel here and take me back later. Roger told Xian. Xian had to kneel again. Grand Priest. Forget it, let him fold. The Great Priest led Ruo Roger to appear in the new universe in a flash. In a relatively distant position from the High Core, Suji found that there was indeed a planet where life was born. The ocean area on this planet has reached more than 90%. Of course, it is said that life was born, but there is no life mentioned here, just some strange plants have been born. This kind of fruit is the most productive on this planet. The taste is average, and the food grade is only third. The Grand Priest said. Roger looked at the fruits. I'll go, isn't this a devil fruit? However, with Roger's knowledge, it is easy to see that these fruits that look like devil fruits do not have the strength. That is to say, although it looks like a nightmare fruit, it doesn't have the effect of the evil mana fruit. You said, I will give these fruits special abilities, so that the 1.0 humans here will eat them in the future, and they will have all kinds of ability. How? Roger was on a whim. My name is Roger. If I don't create a world of pirates, I'm a little sorry for my name, my follower. The Great Priest has no objection. The premise is that you must be a dragon repulsion. Entering the sea, you will lose your ability, and your body will be weak. Roger said, condensed 100 points of dragon power, and with a light wave of these dragon power, he suddenly hit the fruit of evil gathering. At that time, these fruits, which were not very conspicuous at first, radiated a little light, which became a little mysterious. Why is it always me who loses? Chapter 323 Bulma. Roger, are we too fast? Dragon Force. The Great Priest looked at Roger silently. The military hand is 100 points of dragon power. Roger is asking how much dragon power the dragon of the gods in the back garden of the gods needs. Great Priest, you see, with devil fruit, this planet is much more interesting, isn't it? Roger smiled. Waste, if you bring a Namek over here, you only need to consume 10 points of dragon power to achieve this wish, Great Priest smiled. It's okay, I still have a lot of dragon power. Roger smiled slightly. The Great Priest is in danger and stopped talking. A brief silence. This planet is currently said to be the first planet to give birth to life. You'd better train a realm god to come and protect it to avoid accidents. The Great Priest suggested. I see. Sui Jia nodded. I go first, the Great Priest said, and the figure disappeared in a flash. Train a realm god to come here. Roger silently understood the deep meaning of the words of the Great Shrine. In other words, the Grand Shrine has given up letting other apprentice angels take over this universe. That is to say, this new universe has really become its own. But think about it, and then give this new universe to other angels. 12. It is indeed a bit overwhelming to cultivate a realm god. Who is better to train? So tangled. Before going back, Roger went to see the core of the new universe. After seeing the arrival of this evil angel, he turned even harder, for fear that a planet next door would accidentally replace it. You are turning too fast. Roger is in the dark. The core trembled with fright, and quickly slowed down. Is that right? To be the core of the universe requires the attitude and responsibility to be the core of the universe. Your existence is related to the fate of the entire universe. Roger reprimanded, so, you have to give me a good job. Don't slack off, let alone play tricks, because, in our universe, even if you leave you can turn your core and cry. Roger turned into a colorful flame and left quickly. Luo Jia is now in the palace killing of the Great Priest. The Great Priest was facing the realm king god Xian with his back, and he didn't care about the other party. Xian was still kneeling on the ground, and he didn't dare to take a breath. It was terrible. Out. The Great Priest smiled at Roger. It's Za, I have to go back and choose the Kaiwang god. Roger rode. After Xian heard Roger's words, the whole person trembled violently, and his face paled in fright. What does Roger mean? Is he going to reselect Kaiwang god? Finished giving birth. Is my realm god throne going to be sold out? Regarding the issue of awarding you, Lord Quan Wang and I have discussed it. It will take a while. There have been many things recently. The High Priest said to Roger. After a while, how long? Roger asked. Soon. The Great Priest smiled. Grand Shrine, your smile is so wretched. Roger sighs. Grand Priest, this kid is getting smaller and smaller. Shall I beat him up? Well, I should go back too. Roger said walked to Shihan's side, patted his shoulder. Shihan raised his head in confusion. What are you shooting me for? Dare you stare at me? Roger's eyes narrowed slightly. Don't dare. Don't dare. Shihan trembled with fright. All right, go back now. Roger urged. Bright, go back, I understand. Shihan nodded vigorously and saluted the High Priest, and then returned to Earth with Roger. You can go now. Roger waved. Shihan didn't mean to leave, but stayed here and said what he wanted to say. Roger got a little impatient. Angel Roger, are you going to replace me? Shihan asked timidly. Replace you? You think too much. Roger was stunned for a moment, and immediately understood what Shihan meant. This guy thought he chose the realm god to replace it. How busy am I? I want to replace you. Really don't change it. Shihan breathed a sigh of relief. You can actually be replaced if you want. You are the least promising of the many realm kings and gods. Roger reprimanded too much. Shihan finally left crying. So sad. Am I really the last one among Kaiwangshen? After Kaiwangshen opened high, Roger called Bulma to his side. Bulma, do you want to go to the new universe to cultivate life? Roger asked. With you. Bulma's face instantly turned red. Yes, and me. Roger nodded. We too. Is it too soon? Bulma murmured in a low voice, and her heart was also chaotic. What is too fast? Roger can't keep up with Bulma's brain circuit. You and I nurture life. Isn't it just about having a baby together? Bulma asked Roger. The cultivation of life, the birth of planets, etc., is the supreme god, you know. Roger wipes the sweat and resolves the kite and cough. It's not about giving birth, it's about letting you go to the new universe to be the king of the realm, who is also called the god of creation. Bulma with a bitter smile. Good grain. Realm god. Is that the god who knelt down in front of you for a long time and asked Boo to destroy it with Ruidian? Bulma is the god who knows the king. That's right. Roger nodded. Oh no. Bulma shook his head quickly. I don't want to be the realm god. Bulma, don't judge the realm gods of all universes by the realm gods of our universe. In other universe realm gods it's still very promising. Roger said, and, if you become a Kaiwang god, you can have at least 10 million years of life. Roger, I don't want to be a real king, I have no interest. Bulma obviously doesn't have much interest in Kaio's divine position. Well, I don't force you. Roger nodded. Immediately, the scepter of the angel flashed in Roger's hand, and immediately differentiated into several figures. Everyone listened and immediately gathered at Bulma's house. I have something very important to announce. Roger told the crowd. Just as Roger's voice fell, an orange-red figure appeared on the scene in an instant. Roger, what's important? Sun Wukong asked curiously and waited until everyone came. Roger smiles. By the way, Roger, I want to ask you, do you know what my transformation is? As Sun Wukong said, colorful flames burst out from all over his body, and his black hair stood up slightly. Very comfortable. Roger rode. Feel free. Sun Wukong thoughtfully nodded and said, understood, thank you very much, Roger. Chapter 324. I'm just a trainee angel. Wukong, your freedom is not very stable at the moment, and the long-term transformation will make your body unbearable. Therefore, when you are fighting, it is best to hone the Super Saiyan Blue first, and when the Super Saiyan Blue is almost honed, your freedom will stabilize. Roger said. I understand, thank you, Roger. The Monkey King is all right. Next, the warriors such as Bardock, Broly, Bei Gun Gun, Son Gohan, Raditz, Boo, Fat Boo, Krillin, Piccolo, Tianjin Fan, number 18, number 17, number 16, etc., they all came to the scene. Even Turtle Immortal, Oolong, Pooh and others also rushed over to Roger's call, but it was inappropriate. I was afraid that it was the 17th, so I also asked the company for leave to help take care of my small animals, and I came to the 16th with Ruo 18. Are you really resurrected? Number 17 looked surprised. If number 16 and number 6 had no expression on his eyelids, he just glanced at number 17. Wukong, what did Roger mean by calling us all over? Klein lowered his voice and asked. No clear. He didn't tell me. Sun Wuhan scratched his head. Bardock, how can you be willing to take one piece of purple and one piece of risk? Did you provoke Roger Angel again? Broly was a little gloat-worthy, and Bardock rolled his eyes. Am I out of my mind? I dare to ask the master. I was injured in the fight with that kid Kakarot. Okay. Kakarot, what kind of transformation is that? So strong. Now, Kakarot should have surpassed Broly, right? But the only pity is that Kakarot's transformation doesn't last very long. If it takes time, Kakarot will definitely beat Broly. Bardock. When he thinks of his son's strength, he gets excited. At the same time, there was still a little bit of loss in Bardock's heart. It seems that I am being surpassed one by these young people. Can I still beat Vegeta now? Bardock loses confidence. Dad, this is the fairy bean I got from Jeline Shanjin. Sun Wukong stepped forward and handed the fairy bean to Bardock. Before the battle between Sun Wukong and Bardock, after Sun Wukong became extremely comfortable, he really did. A lot stronger, the ancient Super Saiyan god who took down Bardock. In the next few days, Sun Wukong and Bardock fought several times, and after Sun Wukong went to Galanta to ask for fairy beans to heal his father. As soon as he arrived at Shondo, Sun Wukong received a call from Roger's side, so he came over. Bardock nodded, ate the fairy beans, and his injuries recovered immediately. This time, I called you here because I wanted to tell you something. Roger said lightly, I believe that everyone present basically knows my identity, right? The crowd nodded. Let me say here that I am just a trainee angel, and I have not yet become an official angel. Roger said that there are not many people who know that Roger is a trainee angel. Only Vegeta and Bardock know a little bit. The rest of the people only knew that Roger was an angel, and that the angel's status was very high, and the rest was not very clear. Now listening to Roger's words, most of the people present were a little shocked. Is Roger still an official angel? He's just a trainee angel. A trainee angel has such a powerful ability, what if it is an official angel? After the apprentice angel is turned into a regular after the experience, it will create a new universe. Roger said to everyone present, at present, this new universe has basically been finalized, and at the same time, in this new universe, a planet with life has also been born. New universe. A living planet. Everyone was curious for a while. Although life is born in the new universe, no human beings have appeared yet, so I will now choose a creator god among you people. Roger looked around the crowd and said, Creation god, so amazing. Everyone's heart moved a little. At the same time, most of them are a little throbbing. God of creation, should be great, right? The creator god is the greatest god other than me in the new universe. He has a life of at least 10 million years. Of course, after 10 million years, if you still want to live, I can give you eternal life. Roger explained, at the same time, the moment you become a god of creation, your own strength will also double. As for how many times, it is still uncertain, it mainly depends on your personal talent. Roger Angel, creation god or god of destruction, who is higher? Tiantan Fan asked. Roger replied that Tianjin Fan was a little moved. If he could become a creator god, he might be able to defeat Goku, right? Moreover, the god of creation is as high as the god of destruction, that would be great. Do you not have to salute when you see god of destruction in the future? Well, there is Chao willing to be the creator god and stand on the right side. Roger pointed to the platform on the right, and immediately, not everyone stood there. Those who stand on the right are Bardock, Brawly, Begum, Raditz, Boo, Piccolo, Tianjin Fan, Kelling, Number 17, Turtle Immortal, Oolong, Pool. Are you too sure you want to be the creator gods in the past? Roger silently looked at Oolong and Pool, and the three of them shuddered, and hurriedly ran back to the original team. Kakarot, what are you still doing? Why don't you come over quickly? Bardock told Sun Wukong. Greeting this Roger, let me ask, does that new universe have a strong opponent? Sun Wukong did not mean to stand over, but asked curiously. Nothing now. Sui Jia tells the truth. Degree without a strong opponent, I will not pass. Sun Wukong scratched his head and cut, short-sighted guy. Bei Wang Nuo's Gita snorted and Sun Wukong didn't say anything else. Sun Wukong has no interest in the divine position. If there is Xingqiao, he has become the god of the earth. Number 18 long ago, why don't you come? Number 17 asked me that I am not interested in creating god. No, 18 smiled. I can become a creator god, and I can put those little animals into the new universe, right? Number 17 can ponder. Roger said something. Great. Number 17 was very happy, and at the same time, his eyelids were full of expectations, but number 18 shook his head slightly. Why should I be the creator god? I might as well be Roger's daughter-in-law. To be Roger's daughter, am I a god too? 18 thoughtful. Roger took another deep look at Brawly. Brawly seemed to realize something and nodded silently. Chapter 325 Z Warriors choose God of Creation. Very good, there are a total of 10 people participating in the campaign for the Creator God, so let me create a shaking table for you to have a melee fight. After 10 minutes, whoever stays on the table at the end will be the Creator God of the new universe. Roger said, the scepter flashing in his hand. Suddenly, a solid drawing platform appeared in midair. The ring is about 60 meters in diameter. At the same time, there is also a huge barrier above the description platform, so let's go up to the futai. Roger greeted. The next moment, Bardock and the others flew up to the immortal bot-eyed turtle, even holding a cane, and jumped down gently. Jumped on stage. Game start. Roger announced to everyone on the radio. Boom. As soon as the game started, Vegeta directly became the creator god of the 4th rank of Super Saiyan. Don't fight me, Vegeta shouted loudly, and after saying this, he glanced aside Bardock who had just transformed into the ancient Super Saiyan god. Hey, Bardock, the two of us joined forces to give Broly first. How is it eliminated? I mean exactly that. Bardock thought about it. This is a good idea. Broly's existence is indeed a threat, or it would be more appropriate to eliminate him as soon as possible. The two quickly swept in the direction of Broly. Outside the shaker. Sun Wukong. Sun 430 Wukong's fists are rubbing his hands, and his face is full of anticipation. If I knew I could fight, I should have participated too. Well, but don't use your zealot yet. Roger instructed, freedom is a long-term process. It's too early to start, and then your body will suffer irreparable injuries. Understood. Sun Wukong nodded excitedly, glanced at Gohan again, and asked, Gohan, aren't you coming? I'm not fighting anymore, Dad. Gohan has no interest in this kind of battle. Thank you, Roger. Sun Wukong said. Through teleportation, Akira appeared on the stage. At this time, Broly on the stage was already fighting with Bardock and Vegeta. Broly became the legendary Super Saiyan, with 1 against 2, is still at ease. Broly grabbed Vegeta's ankle with a big hand. Bang bang. Broly twisted Vegeta's body from side to side. Immediately, Broly slammed Vegeta's body on Bardock's body, and the two fell to the ground together. Not far away, Raditz and Baektianjin Fan and others, were all stunned after the battle from the right to the two sides. Compared with them, we are not called fighting, okay. That's the real fight. I said, everyone, why don't we wait for them to decide the winner? Let's swarm them one by one, and knock them out first. Suggested Kling. You're right, let's not go up and make fun. Lati nodded, and Tianjin Fan also sweated on his face. He glanced at Broly in the distance. Number 17 did not speak, and silently glanced at Krillin. In his heart, he acquiesced that Boo yawned. Why am I here to join in the fun? You must have the spirit of martial arts. Although they knew that they were not their opponents, they had to bravely face the reprimands from Immortal Turtle. Teacher Wu Tian, don't be ridiculous, we must have the spirit of martial arts. It's true, but the gap with them is too big. Krillin shrugged his shoulders, helpless. Otherwise, old man, you go up and try. Raditz grinned and kicked the Turtle Immortal. With a cane in his hand, the Turtle Immortal rolled into the range where Broly and the others were fighting. Turtle Immortal, Raditz, you wait for me. I can't beat you. I must green you in the future. I'm going to make your hair as green as Broly. Broly just knocked Bayanta and Bardock away when he saw an old man stumbled and rolled off. Old man Liao, how dare you come over and pick on me? Broly smiled lightly. Immediately afterwards, Broly waved his hand gently, and he was about to knock out the Turtle Immortal, which shocked everyone. I saw Turtle Immortal's body squatting gently, actually dodging Broly's wave. At the same time, Turtle Immortal's figure swayed and quickly appeared behind Broly. Bang bang. The Turtle Immortal held the right to crutch, and he praised Broly for a while, and the crutch hit Broly. Broly was very surprised. This old man's trick is so strange. The rest of the people were also shocked that their jaws almost dropped. This old turtle is too unexpected, right? However, Broly's reaction speed was still very fast. With a slamming kick, the immortal Bagui, who was kicked by the Turtle Fairy, flew backwards, and his body was picked up by Sun Wukong, who had just stepped on the stage. If I took it just now, it's Laser Lu, you've been chopped up by me. Can the Turtle Immortal look at Broly Road's laser sword and hit my Broly's defense? Grandpa Turtle Immortal, really amazing. Sun Wukong said with a smile, it seems that it has points similar to my freedom. Ah, is it Goku? Are you up too? The turtle immortal smiled at Wukong. Yes, but I'm just here to fight. I'm not participating in the campaign to create a god. Sun Wukong nodded and gave me a hard beating. Turtle immortal greeted Sun Wukong and said, I have long wanted to compete with Broly. Sun Wukong nodded slightly. Sun Wukong turned into a Super Saiyan Blue, and charged towards Broly. Bang bang research. The two fought fiercely in the ring. Bardock and Vegeta stood up, their eyes became a little ugly, and Broly got stronger again. I am so naive. The legendary Super Saiyan can become stronger without training. Vegetapioboddac's expression was a little gloomy. Once upon a time, I was the most powerful Saiyan. Well now, it seems that I really can't even beat Baegun. Haven't I got eternal youth and won't grow old? Boom. On the stage, the battle between Sun Wukong and Broly continues. What? Kakarot has become stronger again. Vegeta watched for a while and found that Kakarot was much stronger than before. It's only been a few days. At least now, it's impossible for Bayanta to find that Kakarot's strength is stronger than that of the sixth universe. What am I missing? The corners of Bayanta's mouth trembled, and her complexion changed again and again. Chapter 326 Bardock, fooled. The creator god is the king god. Whether Sun Wukong has become stronger, Vegeta is still easy to see. However, although Sun Wukong has become a lot stronger, but in Super Saiyan Blue transformation, compared with Broly, there is still a big difference. Gap. After fighting with Broly for more than 10 seconds, he was punched to the ground by Broly. So strong. Sun Wukong took a deep breath and jumped up. His expression became excited. Let's go together, I'm going to hang the audience. Broly waved to everyone present on the stage. All the soldiers stared wide-eyed. This is so despised. Let's go. Too arrogant. Tianjin Rice gritted his teeth. Kill him together. Let this kid keep it up. Raditz is also holding the head of the school. Little Boo, wake up soon, he is despising you. Krillin patted Xiaobu's shoulder. Little Boo yawned, opened his eyes, looked left and right, and watched Little Boo beat his own running hard. Pressing it tightly, Little Boo dashed in the direction of Broly, and facing Broly, it was a burst of onslaught Broly dealt with easily. The next moment, Broly grabbed with a big hand, grabbed the tentacles on Little Boo's head and slapped Broly's ears. Boom. After a few times, Little Boo's dipping bag is swollen and looks like Fat Boo, so let's start with Little Boo first. Broly smiled lightly and kicked out, hitting Little Boo's body. Boo bounces on the table and falls off the table. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Rabans and the others also rushed up aggressively at this time. Broken, broken, broken. Broly almost learned one question one at a time, that is, he eliminated Raditz and others from the game. From the beginning of the game to the present, only 3 minutes have passed, except for Vegeta, Monkey King, Bardock and Broly 4. Except for the individual, the rest of the ranks have already fallen to Kakarot, and with your strength, you should be able to defeat Broly. Bardock said to Sun Wukong. What did you say? Vegeta was stunned, glanced at Bardock in disbelief, and then at Sun Wu, who thought that kind of transformation was not mature enough now. Feel free. Is that the one you transformed into when you fought with me? Asked Bardock. Yes. Sun Wukong nodded. If you can't become very comfortable, I'm afraid it will be difficult to be Broly's opponent. Bardock has a way to grit his teeth. He can definitely defeat him. Sun Wukong thought for a while, and seemed to have come up with a solution. Asked Bardock. Dad, will you merge with me? That's the super skill I learned in heaven. As long as it is integrated, I can definitely defeat Broly. Sun Wukong proposes. Ying. Bardock kicked Sun Wukong with one kick. You son of a bitch, if you want to merge with Lousy. After we reunite, what do you call your mother? Why did you hit me? Sun Wukong is confused. Kakarot, I will not merge with you. Bardock snorted and Dao Bei rolled. Shall we merge? Sun Wukong said quickly. Do you call me Bei Gun Gun again? Vegeta's danger is instantly dark haha. In fact, I think the name Gun is more interesting. Brawly smiled and said wow. Vegeta was furious, and flew in the direction of Brawly. Vegeta launched a violent attack on Brawly. A minute later, Brawly kicked Bayanta's lower back. Vegeta stumbled out of the platform and fell off the stage. What? My Vegeta actually lost. Vegigan's face changes color. Next, you are the father and son left. Brawly smiled at the two of them. Kakarot, you step back and leave it to me. Bardock rubbed the head. Daddy, let's go together. Sun Wukong suggested. No use. Do you really think that Dad will lose to him? Bardock looked solemn. He was about to attack Brawly and wait a while. I thought about it carefully. I didn't seem to have much interest in this creation god, so Brawly waved his hand and walked to the ring. Bianlu looked back at Bardock and smiled. Bardock, this god of creation has sent you and Kakarot. Brawly jumped off the stage. Duck is stunned. Sun Wukong was a little disappointed. I haven't come up with my real skills yet. Ask for flowers. Why did you abstain? Forget it, there's a chance to fight again later. Kakarot, now we are left with father and son. Bardock smiled and looked at Monkey King's father. As I said, I have no interest in creating gods either. I abstained. Monkey King said quickly, and immediately left the ring by teleporting. At the end of the game, Bardock won the final victory and became the creator god of the new universe. Roger announced that Bardock took a deep breath. And he is a creator god. Great. Jian will be happy for me knowing this news, right? The scepter appeared in Roger's hand, and on the crystal ball above the account, a figure of the old world king god was immediately differentiated, and he immediately came to me for a super. Roger greeted Yu Lao Zhuangshan. It's Angel Roger. Okay, I'll be there soon. Old Zhuangshan promised. The people present were a little confused. Roger asked the old world king to come over. What does this mean? Soon, under the leadership of Xian, the old king god appeared beside Roger. Roger Angel, what is your order? Old king god asked. This is Bardock, the father of Sun Wukong. Roger pointed to Bardock, and looked at the old world king Shinto for a long time. The old realm king said quickly. The old king god is very polite. Bardock replied indifferently. From today onwards, Bardock is my realm god in the new universe, but Bardock doesn't know much about realm god, so I hope you will teach me well in the recent period. Teach him the relevant knowledge of Kaiwang god and help him become a real Kaiwang god. Roger said to the old Kaiwang god. Yes, Angel Roger. The old realm king hurriedly agreed. Is 10 days enough for you? Asked Roger. Enough. If it's not enough, I can go to another dimension. Old realm king god hastily said. Okay. Roger nodded. Since you choose to go to a different dimension, I'll give you 1 day at the same time. Old king god. I'm such an asshole. I mentioned that the other dimensional space is messing up. The environment in this place is so bad that you let me go with an old bone to that place. Won't you kill me? Chapter 327. Roger. The king god is actually very powerful. Obey. Although the old realm king was reluctant, he didn't dare to disobey the order. But I'm putting the ugly words in front of me. If the real king god you taught is on the same level as Xian, I will be very angry. Sighed. No. The old realm king slapped a duo cha. Kaiyan god Shine is despised again. I really became a negative textbook. Realm god. What about the creator god? The more Bardock listened, the more he felt that something was wrong. Don't you mean running for god of creation? Why is he now the king of gods? Creation god, realm god. The pronunciation of these two gods is very different. I can't hear the wrong. Bardock winking at Son Gohan. By the way, 303, Uncle Roger, didn't you say that you were running for god of creation? Sun Wufan understood in his heart, don't you know? Roger looked at Uncle Roger with a surprised look on his face. What do you know? Son Gohan was puzzled. The creator god is the king god, replied Roger. What? The creator god is the king god. It's true that Bardock's danger has changed. Kaiwang god is also called the god of creation. Where there is creation, there is destruction. Therefore, the god of destruction is a complementary god. Old Realm King God nodded and replied, originally, Realm King God and God of Destruction are the same gods, but there have been some changes in recent years. Forget it, I still won't talk about it. Kai-O God. It turned out to be Kai-O God. Bardock is about to cry. I was chosen, and I was chosen to be the Kaiwang God. Hey, what's your expression? The old Realm King said solemnly. What do you mean? Realm King God, you don't really care. Are our kaiju gods despised? Fortunately it wasn't me, thank you so much, Brawly. Vegeta patted Brawly on the shoulder, I mean. Brawly had a joke on his face. What do you mean? How do I feel that you mean to say, you have long known that the World King is the god of creation? Vegeta's eyes widened. If it is really the Kaiwang god of the campaign, then I will fight for a woolen thread. How could this prince be able to handle such a pediatric device as the King of Gods? Brawly smiled and said nothing. Vegeta's heart sank. Brawly knows things I don't even know. Why? Vegeta quickly reacted. Roger told Brawly in advance that I was going to be abandoned by Roger. It turned out to be the king of the realm. Fortunately, I was eliminated. Rades is also relieved. The old ancestors, are they Zawan our realm god? Xian also saw that the old realm god punched Xian on the head. Why did you hit me? Great-grandfather. Zion holds the bag, and it's all your fault for giving away. If it weren't for you being so ignorant, would they look down on our king god? It's okay for the old realm king to reprimand, I didn't follow along to join in the fun. Oolong is also Tantanan, you pig. What right do you have to say that Zhuangshan is not one? The old Zhuangshan was so angry that his nose was crooked. I'm Roger's pet guess. Oolong rode. The old king of the realm smiled awkwardly, stepped forward and touched Oolong's head. Zion sighed in the sky. People's hearts are not ancient, the world is getting worse. Can even a pig ride on the Kaiwang god? When did I say I wanted to make you my pet pig? Roger turned his head to look at Angel Oolong. Roger. We have a very good relationship. I followed you when I was looking for Dragon Balls from Bulma. Oolonglian really wants to be my pet pig. Roger thought. Oolong nodded vigorously. Brawly, go, take him out. Roger greeted Brawly. Why? Oolong turned pale with fright. I can pull it out, although you dare not do anything to Bulma, but you have a bad idea of Bulma in your heart. Roger said. I didn't. Oolong was horrified. Can't even think about it. I just think. Oolong, let's chat over there. Vegeta reacted very quickly this time, grabbing Oolong's neck and flying off the next row. Oolong's screams came from a distance, and then Vegeta brought Ruo Oolong back. Turtle Immortal saw Oolong's miserable appearance, and was so frightened that his whole body became the master. I don't want to be the creator god Bardock, I'm about to cry. What do you know? Kaiwangjin will teleport, but will the god of destruction? Asked Roger. Bardock was slightly taken aback. Teleportation, even an angel, currently does not have the ability. Roger said. Bardock thought to himself, isn't that just teleportation? That's for escape when I want to be strong. I don't want to run away. In addition, Kaiwang God also has a space-time ring and Potala earrings. Does the god of destruction have it? Roger said again. Yes, the realm god is actually very powerful. The old realm god suddenly came to the spirit, it's just that this kid Zion doesn't like to study, so he gave you the illusion that the realm god is weak. Master, Potala earrings are fitting earrings, right? Bardock asked, is the space ring the same ring you took me back to? That's right. Roger stretched out his hand and pointed to the ring in his hand. By the way, this ring was given to me by Zion. Xian. It's you who took care of me away, okay. How, am I right? Roger looked at Xian. Yes, I pay special tribute to Angel Roger. Xian nodded vigorously. 2.4 Moreover, there is no proof that the god of destruction is definitely stronger than the god of destruction, and that the god of destruction in some universes may not necessarily be weaker than the god of destruction. Roger said, Okay, what I can say. That's all, this kind of thing is not forced. Yusha is willing, I will not embarrass you. Roger said, his eyes narrowed slightly. I agree. Bardock nodded quickly. Bardock was very clean, and Roger squinted his eyes a little impatiently. If he refuses, he will surely receive endless revenge from him. Roger just said that he will not embarrass himself. If that's the case, you'll be fooling Kakarot. Since you agreed, you will give me a good job from now on. If my Kaiwangshen is not qualified, I will erase it myself and replace it with a new one. Roger's eyes flickered with ferocity. Chapter 328 The Realm King God Bardock. Bardock made a wish, his lips trembled, and he hurriedly bowed and saluted. In addition, in my universe, Kaiwang God and Destruction God are equal. Roger added again, yes, Master. Bardock saluted again, with a little joy in his heart and the level of the God of Destruction. Great. So, in the future, there will be a God of Destruction, and it will not be paid by the God of Destruction, right? Angel Roger, can I go to your universe to be the King of Gods? Old Realm King God moved in his heart. If you behave well, I can let you go to my universe to be an honorary King God. Roger nodded, it's settled so happily. The old Realm God was a little excited. Next, Realm God Sheen took the old Realm God and Bardock to the other dimension space. Days later, Bardock directly teleported and brought out the old God of the realm. It was only a short day. Bardock's expression completely changed. Of course, it was a day outside, but Bardock stayed in a different dimension space. Years. Bardock has already changed into the special clothes of Kaiwang God, and put on the Patara earrings on his ears. At the same time, Bardock also has a space-time ring owner on his finger, and I'm back. Bardock bows and salutes. Today, everyone is still staying at Bulma's home. Bulma's home is very large, and it is more than enough to arrange so many people. Everyone wants to see what has changed after Bardock became the King of Gods. Well, not bad, you didn't let me down. Roger nodded, smiling slightly, didn't you want to hang Brawly? Go for it. Thank you, Master. Bardock nodded slightly, and silently looked at Brawly. Brawly was eating, and when he heard Roger's words, he quickly put down the food. Several meanings. Are you going to hang me, Brawly? Brawly stood directly opposite Bardock, looking at Bardock with a wary face, a little worried. Brawly, let's get started. Bardock said to Brawly. Well, I want to see how you want to hang me. Brawly said that the green flames bloomed all over his body and turned into the legendary Super Saiyan. Brawly flashed red flames all over his body and transformed into the ancient Super Saiyan God. It is the same as before, still a Super Saiyan. The transformation of the gods seems to make no difference. Brawly looked at Wukong. Can your father beat Brawly? Klein asked in a low voice that his father looked calm and confident. The feeling was completely different from before. Son Wukong silently looked at Bardock. I wonder if Papa can beat Brawly, but what is certain is that his strength has been greatly improved. A few days ago, Brawly could hang all of us here. Keelan scratched his head. Hee. Keelan, I haven't really moved. Son Wukong lowered his voice. What do you mean, Goku? Clinton stared wide-eyed. Forget it, don't say it, you'll find out later. Son Wukong smiled. Wuhan, half of what you said, you made me crazy, okay. Krillin rolled his eyes and the rest of the people were talking about the battle between Bardock and Brawly. Before that, Bardock was not yet a real god, and was easily beaten by Brawly. Many people could see that Doc is actually not as powerful as Vegeta. It seems that Son Wukong's Super Saiyan Blue also has a tendency to surpass Bardock. Bardock, this Saiyan who has been practicing for 1,000 years, is one of these juniors. One who surpassed Bardock is now the King of God. Can he defeat Brawly? Difficult. Brawly can hang us all. That's right, he just became the Kaiwang God, how could he defeat Brawly? Obviously not very likely. Everyone is not very optimistic about Bardock. After all, what kind of strength can Bardock have? I'm going to attack Brawly. The corner of Bardock's mouth evoked a shallow arc. Come on, greeted Brawley. Bardak's figure disappeared in a flash. Brawley was shocked, and hurriedly searched back and forth, left and right. What a great speed! Vegeta's eyes widened. No, is it that the father of the current mobile will also teleport? Sun Wukong was a little surprised. Idiot, your father's instant movement is the instant movement of Kaiwangshan, which is more advanced than yours. Old King God smiled with his hands behind his back. Sun Wukong nodded thoughtfully. Bardak's figure flickered and quickly appeared behind Brawley. Bardak bombarded behind Brawley. With a muffled sound, Brawley got hit. However, Brawley's skin is thick and fleshy, and his defense is amazing. This punch doesn't seem to hurt or itchy. Flashed. Swish. Immediately afterwards, Bardak's figure left several afterimages on the spot. Another teleportation. Brawley looked around for Bardak. Here, Bardak's voice came from a distance. 350. Brawley looked around, and Tengran found that Bardak was suspended above the distant artificial lake at this time. Hey, you run so far, are you going to escape and surrender? Brawley said loudly that the Bardak at this time is at least 1,000 meters away from Brawley. Although they can reach them in a flash, but the distance is far, it is still very inconvenient to fight. Besides, this is Bulma's home, so the two of them didn't dare to use long-range ults or anything. Bardak laughed. The next moment, Bardak's right hand gently drew a circle around the circle in midair, and a layer of black ripples appeared. Thousand what? What trick is this? Brawley froze slightly. Just when Brawley was a little surprised, a black circle appeared beside Brawley. A student stuck out and punched Brawley in the face. What? Brawley was surprised and fought back at Yuansu. The circle is gone. But then, a black circle appeared silently behind Brawley, and a big foot kicked out, hitting Brawley's back. Chapter 329. Bardak, do you know the responsibilities of the king of the world? Brawley spewed a mouthful of acid water, and quickly counterattacked the circle and disappeared. Wow! Brawley was about to go crazy. Energy surged all over his body, and rushed in the direction of Ruobadak. However, not long after Bu Suili flew out, a black circle appeared silently again in the sky above him. In the circle, a big hand stretched out, and Yiba Yu patted Brawley's head. Brawley fell from the sky and smashed into the ground below. The shaking ground shook for a while. Everyone was stunned. That circle, what's going on? Vegeta clenched her fists. Veggie can believe that even if he played against Bardak, he would be blown away by these terrifying circles. Is it a special trick of Kaiwangshan? Big sweat. It turns out that the King of Gods can still play like this. Krillin muttered in surprise, Wukong, did you find it too? Your father's strength didn't actually improve much, but after he became a Kaiwang god and donated God's skills, it was completely different. Vic said to Ruo Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong smiled and nodded. Hateful. Bardak, do you dare to confront me head-on? Brawley jumped like Joe, your style of play is so shameless. Bardak suddenly appeared directly opposite Brawley. At the same time, those black circles also disappeared all of a sudden. Bardak slammed his hands at Brawley, and a powerful divine power emerged from his hands. For a moment, under the eyes of the public, Brawley was fixed in midair, and it was difficult to move. Everyone was shocked. Brawley was locked up. Many people still remember that at the world's #1 martial arts conference, the Rome King Shine handed this method to immobilize Sun Wufan. Can even such a powerful Brawley be immobilized? Lol. In Bardak's right hand, a purple hand knife suddenly appeared, and the hand knife stabbed Robori's throat violently. Brawley was shocked. However, at this critical juncture, Brawley found that his body could not move at all. Brawley's face turned pale for a moment, and at the same time he felt a chill in his throat. I'm going to hang up. You lose, Brawley. Bardak didn't pierce Brawley's throat. When he said this, Brawley was already able to move, so frightened, he hurriedly backed away, leaving a distance from Badakra. Do you recognize John? If you admit defeat, you won't fight. Bardak smiled. If it was really a battle of life and death, you were already dead just now. Brawley gritted his teeth and said nothing. To Brawley, the battle this time was a bit suffocating. Brawley clearly felt that Bardock was not as strong as himself, but this weird trick made it difficult for him to defend. Is this the realm god? The scene was silent. Brawley, really lost to Bardock. Doc, just became the Kaiwang god. Many people's eyes showed envy in their eyes. It turns out that the king of gods can still be so powerful. It turns out that Kaiwang god is not as useless as Xian. Hey Roger Angel, am I training okay? The old realm king, with a smile on his face, respectfully asked Dao Luo. My Kaiwang god, I just let you train to become Black Goku. Would you mind saying, it's alright? However, Roger thought about it carefully. It seems that the real world king has such tricks. It is estimated that the old world king can teach Bardock. In the future, it will depend on Bardock's own cultivation. Not bad, thanks for your hard work. Roger nodded. Haha, to be praised by Angel Roger is not in vain for my hard work this year. Old realm god, haha, it's all gone. Roger waved his hand. The crowd slowly dispersed. Roger told Bardock to go back to the grave to pack up and set off. Master, can I take my wife with me too? Bardock asked. Yes, but the premise is that the work cannot be delayed. Roger nodded. Don't worry, Master, I will work hard. Yidik replied very well. Then tell me, what did you realize after becoming the King of Kings? Roger asked. I have become a little bit stronger, but I can pass the King of Kings. Unique ability to fight, to achieve unpredictable results, said Bardock excitedly. At the beginning, Bardock was a little bit against the divine position of Kaiwang God. God of Destruction is powerful. King God is too weak. However, when Bardock became the Kaiwang God, he mastered the unique abilities of Kaiwang God, and found that these skills were easy to be used in combat. I'm talking about your work comprehension, not your combat side. Roger Haraku in terms of work. Isn't that just creating the planet and protecting the planet? Bardock shook his head. Talk in detail. Roger rode. This. To be more specific, it is to protect this planet and let the planet give birth to life or something. Bada Roger slapped Bardock with one palm. The next moment, Roger greeted the Old World King through the scepter and asked the Old World King to come back to the Angel Roger immediately. What happened? After the old god of the realm came over, in his heart, he found that Sui Jia's face was not very good looking. Tell me, the responsibilities of Kaio God. Roger rode. Rather than creating a new planet, the king god is more about providing an opportunity to create a planet. In addition, Jia Wangyi can also divide a planet, Qianzhao, into several planets to increase the effect of the planet. Also, Kaioshin sometimes creates life for newly born stars, or transfers life from other planets, but the basic work is still watching the planets. The old Kaiwang god answered with his hands behind his back, because there are too many planets, Bardock, you will have 4 Kaiwangs to help you in the later stage. Of course, if the balance of the world is disrupted, they will also intervene. Is there a way to intervene? Usually, it is only a reference for new life forms, and it does not directly increase the number of planets. The god of destruction will take damage in order to maintain balance. Judge alone. Roger nodded in satisfaction. What the old realm god said is exactly the role of realm god, do you remember? Roger looked at Bardock and asked remember this time. Bardock made a nod to the hall. Bardock. Chapter 330 Jine, what did you eat? Bardock did not dare to disobey, so he had to recite a fortune. Don't blame me for not reminding you, Bardock, that if you fail to do your job, I'll wipe you out with my own hands, it's no joke. Ranai tinkling. Yes, master. Bardock nodded vigorously. Go back and pack up, and say goodbye to your child. After an hour, I will take you to the new universe. Roger said. Bardock nodded solemnly. Bardock first returned to his home, and told his son Jine about his situation. So, Bardock, have you become a god? Let me see that. It really looks different, but this dress looks a little out of habit. Jine looked at Bardock with a smile. Don't be rude, the master only leaves me for an hour. Let's pack up and say goodbye to Kakrit and the others. Bardock said. There's really nothing to fix, right? Even though Miyuchi said that, she still packed Sukamura well and brought her commonly used tools. Jine, you don't need to bring the pot, bowl and mussel basin, right? Bardock feels a little tired, so what? There's nothing in the new universe, right? What are we going to eat? Jine shook her head. After 40 minutes of packing up, Jine was able to tidy up Bardock. No time, don't you go and say goodbye to Kakrit 310. Bardock is speechless. In fact, this kind of goodbye is even more reluctant to part. Jine's eyes rolled in their sockets. I just didn't want to say goodbye to Kakrit and Raditz, so I deliberately delayed the time. No goodbye, it's not like we're not coming back. Bardock smiled. I listened to Bardock. Jine nodded. Let's go. Bardock smiled slightly. Bardock took his son Jine, and through teleportation, appeared in Bulma's tomb in a flash. Bardock just appeared, but he saw Sun Wukong's family and Lebangxi, who were already waiting at Bulma's home. How are you here? Asked Bardock. Knowing that Dad was going to the new universe, he came to see him off specially. Sun Wukong scratched his head and smiled. It seems that the new universe has not yet been born human beings. Raditz said, lowering his voice, and whispering in Bardock's ear, Dad, if you feel lonely, I will take some time to bring you a few women past. Bardock's face. Now, Bardock actually gave Brawly to Jine and kicked Raditz. Or our Kakrit obedient. I sighed. Kakrit, come on. Bardock patted Sun Wukong on the shoulder. Come on, Dad, I will often go to Dad to learn from each other. Sun Wuxi nodded and Bardock hesitated. I'm afraid, Kakrit, you can't come to the new universe, right? Alright, let's go. Roger saw that it was almost time, and hurriedly said yes, Master. Bardock replied. The water polo on the scepter in Roger's hand also suddenly appeared in the palace of the Great Priest. Bardock, have you seen that palace? Go, the new universe is in the palace of the Grand Priest, and the Grand Palace can take you in. Said Roger. Is the master not going? Asked Bardock. I will not go. Roger thinks it's too much trouble to go. Go and fly back. Shilai, I have to find time to learn to teleport. Then, Master, I'm leaving. Bardock waved. Go for it. Roger nodded slightly and Bardock took Jine away. In just an instant, Bardock appeared in the palace of the Great Priest. Meet the Lord of the Great Shrine. Bardock hurriedly stepped forward and bowed down. Bardock heard BCBC, the old king of the realm, say that the Great Priest has a very high status and is above Roger, so he did not dare to be slow in the slightest. Jine also knelt down. Bardock, the ancient Super Saiyan God. The Grand Priest looked at Bardock and said. Bardock did not speak. Get up and follow me to the new universe. The Great God. Yes. Grand Priest Leruo's wife got up. The Great Priest broke through the void and took Bardock into the new universe. The blue planet in front is the planet where life was born. Your mission, I believe Roger has already told you. The Great Priest said, go. Yes, Lord Grand Shrine. Bardock nodded. Bardock brought Ruozi Jine, and came to this planet through teleportation. A day later. Bardock, you see this fruit is very strange. Jean went out for a spin, came back and took a strange look. When she saw that the fruit was bitten on it, her face couldn't help but change her brow. It's bad, did you eat it? Bardock asked. I took a bite, it wasn't very tasty, I'll take it back for you to see. Jine said. This is called evil fruit. I forgot to tell you. A devil fruit sinking in Bardock's heart. Qian or something. Jinai's face is puzzled. The nightmare fruit is created by the master. After eating it, you can get a special ability, but it will be repelled by the sea here. Bardock smiled bitterly. You try to put your hand in the sea, a little curious. Reach out. However, at the moment when Jine's hand just touched the sea, Jine suddenly felt powerless and weak. Jine quickly retracted her hand. What's the situation? Why do I feel like my tail is being grabbed? Giant's face changed color. That's right, this is the effect of the evil nightmare fruit when eating the evil mania fruit. Bardock patted his forehead and said with a wry smile, "It's all my fault. I just arrived on this planet, and I was busy visiting all parts of the planet. I forgot to tell you don't have to worry about it so much, Bardock, it's fine if I don't touch the sea." Giant smiled, her face indifferent. By the way, on other planets, it's okay to encounter the sea, right? Not sure, it should be fine, only this planet is under the curse. Bardock guessed right. Bardock, you just said that after eating the fruit, there will be a special ability 7. What is it? Giant asked. You should be able to feel your own ability, and you should be able to feel it. Bardock asked me to try it. Giant nodded. Minutes later. Boom. Lightning falls from the sky. What's the situation? Bardock looked up. See Doc, my body seems to have turned into lightning. Giant exclaimed. Chapter 331 Golden Frieza Attacks. Time flies. Akira, 4 months have passed. The award promised by the Great Priest still hasn't come. Roger has already divided the Great Priest into a big fool. Great Priest, wait for it. One day, I will let your children wear no clothes and let the King of Quan award them an award. Is it that difficult? Vast starry sky. Foley's spaceship is creeping. Your Excellency Frieza, the Earth is in front of you. Sorby bowed. We might as well just destroy the Earth, so that everyone on it will die. Some opponents, if you don't kill them yourself, there is no sense of accomplishment. Frieza sneered. Yes, Lord Frieza. Sorby salutes. This time, I, Frieza, will bloodbath the entire Earth. Frieza bared his teeth and clenched his head. Monkey King, Vegeta, Roger, wait, I'm here, Frieza. Call out. The spaceship streaked across the starry sky with a white on, and flew away in the direction of the Earth, Vegeta's home. Suddenly there is a strong breath. Very familiar. Vegeta is cultivating, and she feels the powerful breath that appears on the Earth. Vegeta, what happened? 2 inches. Amy was holding a small baby and looked at Vegeta and asked if it was. Lisa, this guy is resurrected, and it has become a lot stronger. Vegeta felt it silently, and smiled lightly. Emily, I'll be back when I go. Vegeta rushed into the sky and flew towards Bowsy Mountain, the home of Sun Wukong, in the direction of the spaceship. Piccolo was breathing heavily, sweat dripping from his eyelids. Vic, you can't do it, your speed is too slow now. Sun Wukong smiled. Sun Wukong, you are enough, let me accompany you to practice. Did you make a mistake? Vic stared. Hey, am I honing in on Super Saiyan Blue? Sun Wukong scratched his head. It's a pity that Gohan is not very interested in training, and my father has gone to the new universe to be the king of the realm, and I don't have a suitable opponent. You can find Broly, Vic said angrily. I turned into Super Saiyan Blue and couldn't beat Broly. Sun Wukong smiled. Did you deliberately pick someone who could beat him? Vic stared again. The next moment, the two sensed the evil aura that appeared far away from the Earth. Who is it? Sun Wukong scratched his head and frowned. This aura is a bit familiar. Possibly Frieza. Vic gnawed his teeth. Is he stronger than Frieza? Is he resurrected? Sun Wukong was stunned for a while, and pondered. By the way, I remembered that. I remember Bulma said that the Dragon Ball of the Earth was summoned. Let's go, Vic greeted. I teleport over there. Monkey King said if he put his finger on his forehead, the headquarters of the Universal Capsule Company, Bulma's home. Galactic Patrolman Gak appeared opposite Bulma, dancing to Bulma's long speech. A long time ago, Gak came to Earth and met Bulma's sister, Bulma and Roger. Roger was training on Earth at that time. No one knew his identity. Well, I'm afraid it's about to reach the Earth now. Jack's face is getting brighter. Jack, there's nothing to be afraid of, it's just Frieza. Someone can slap him to death with a single finger. Bulma smiled and could slap him to death with a finger. What are you kidding? By the way, Bulma, who killed Frieza back then? Are you still on Earth? Jack asked if you were talking about Bei Sui Gun. Bulma pondered and looked at Roger. Roger, it was Bei Gun Gun who killed Frieza, right? I remember that Bei Gun Gun died on the Earth. Dropped him. That's right. Roger point. Bei Gun Gun is still on Earth. If he knows that Frieza is resurrected, he should go to Frieza, so you can rest assured. Exhorted Bulma. Real. Jake breathed a sigh of relief, but I heard that after Frieza's resurrection this time, he found a place to practice in secret, and his strength has improved. Is it his opponent? Gak, you can have Myers take care of Frieza. It was easy for Myers to get Frieza out, Roger said. Myers. Pack Frieza. Jack was stunned for a moment, then laughed. Don't make fun of Roger. Myers is indeed the first person in our Galaxy Patrol, but you said he can beat Frieza. Impossible, he and Frieza there is still a big gap compared to. Forget it, I'll follow you. Roger stopped ignoring Gak. Well, that Frieza guy's here. As Roger said, the angel scepter in his hand also appeared in his hand immediately. Seeing that Roger suddenly had a scepter in his hand, Jake couldn't help but be slightly startled. Some small surprises that made Jake even more surprised are still to come. When I saw the crystal ball on Roger's scepter, a projection was three-dimensional, showing the image of Frieza and others in all directions. What advanced instrument is this? Jack's eyes widened. Please mention how shocked he was, and he looked at Bulma subconsciously. Bulma, have you monitored all the paintings? Jake, you're so out of date, that's angel power. Bulma shook her head. Angel scepter. What do you mean? Gak puzzled. Take a good look. Bulma smiled. In the projection, after Frieza appeared, Sun Wukong and Piccolo arrived immediately, and Vegeta also flew down. Not long after standing opposite Frieza, Broly landed on the spot. Vegeta's side Labangs also followed and fell next to Sun Wukong. Ah, Rabbit, it's unbelievable, you've come back to life. Flipping was sitting in the aircraft, and when she saw Labangs, she couldn't help but be a little curious. Don't do it for a while, I'll kill Frieza with my own hands. Raditz suddenly felt that he was finally useful. In any case, after so many years of hard work, Raditz's combat effectiveness has also improved a lot, plus he can become a Super Saiyan, and he believes that defeating Frieza is more than enough. What did you say? You said you were going to kill me Frieza yourself. Stop teasing, Raditz, you Saiyan trash. Frieza is about to be amused. I remember that your combat power seems to be just over 1000. A little bit. What a pity. Chapter 332 Raditz, don't move. Leave me alone. The little brothers behind Frieza, laughing one by one. 1000 combat power. This battle is really not enough today. At present, among Frieza's younger brothers, whose combat power does not exceed 1000, His Excellency Frieza's right. This long-haired Saiyan is indeed a waste Raditz with golden glow all over his body, and he has become a Super Saiyan. The smiles of the brothers froze one by one. Even Frieza gave Raditz a deep look. Not bad, even the most useless objects of the year can be turned into Super Saiyans, and it really has the capital to provoke me. Frieza rubbed his nose. Hey, are you a third-tier Super Saiyan or a normal Super Saiyan? Broly asked. Shut up. Pooh, 183 inches. Tiz's face darkened. I am a Super Saiyan, can you not know? As much as you talk. Raditz thought, should he find time to cut his hair every time he transforms, it's embarrassing to be mistaken for a third-tier Super Saiyan. Blame this kid Kakarot, what kind of Super Saiyan Tier 3 are you studying? Do you think the current Super Saiyan Blue is not fragrant? Isn't Super Saiyan Tier 4 sweet? Don't worry, Raditz, I'll give you a chance to perform later. Frieza wiggled her index finger lightly and glanced at Broly with a smile. Who are you? This is a grievance between me and a Saiyan. If you are not a Saiyan, I advise you to quickly find a way to leave this planet. Otherwise what will happen to the consequences? I don't think I need to explain too much. I am a Saiyan, and I am the most powerful Saiyan ever. Broly pointed to his nose proudly. I can really blow my throat. Frieza smiled lightly. After so many years, I didn't expect to have two more bragging Faya people. He's bragging, I'm not, I can easily hang you. Brawly pointed to the Latiza belt nearby. Brawly, you can't beat me if you insult me. Now, Frieza, stop talking nonsense. Since I killed you last time, let me kill you this time. Vegeta stood up. Wait a minute Vegeta, let me go first. Sun Wukong is a little itchy. Vegeta hesitated for a moment, but made no objection. Vegeta scalped to see how far Kakarot has cultivated in the past 4 months. Forget it, this level of gangster is not worth my shot. Brawly thought about it for a while, and didn't decide to shoot for the time being. You guys are too much. I'm here. You are not allowed to intervene. Saiyan is not necessarily his opponent. Sun Wukong looked at Le Banxi. Brother, this kind of childish trick, you can only lie to others, and you are going to lie to your brother. Rabanzi stared. It's only been 4 months since he was resurrected, right? Do you think he will surpass Super Saiyan in 4 months? Sun Wukong didn't know how to solve it for a while. Okay, one last question. Frieza got a little impatient. Roger, why isn't there Monkey King Vegeta Brawly Raditz? How? What kind of watch are you? Frieza was stunned. Frieza, you still don't know about Roger. Otherwise, you will be scared to death. Vegeta sighed. Oh, how to say? Frieza smiled. Frieza, as long as you figure it out, Roger is a lot stronger than you think, so powerful that you are already out of reach, and that's it. Vegeta is kind to persuade. Ha ha ha, Frieza burst into laughter. Roger is so powerful that I'm out of reach. Don't you idiots know that Dian Lisa, is a genius? Today, Frieza, want you to see for yourself and provoke this emperor. What will be the consequences and who will come first? Frieza asked with a smile, and flew out of the aircraft slowly. I'll go first, of course I'll go first. Raditz's whole body hurriedly bloomed, and he was confident Raditz, he really changed much stronger. Sun Wukong once again mentions Kakarot, you can let Raditz go, this guy doesn't have a long memory, and he doesn't know how high the sky is. Brawly advised. It really hurts, it's okay, then go for it. Sun Wukong no longer objected. Very well, the rest of the people, kill me all the earthlings. Not one left. Frieza gave orders to thousands of little brothers. Immediately, thousands of younger brothers scattered around like a group of wasps. Stop them. Sun Wukong's face changed color, and he hurriedly transformed into a Super Saiyan. Vegeta also transformed into a Super Saiyan. The two quickly rushed up and launched an attack on the younger brothers. Brawly didn't sit still either. With a single wave of his big hand, he directly killed hundreds of Frieza's younger brother, Frieza, ready to die. Raditz turned into a golden beam and headed straight for Frieza. Broken. The next moment, Raditz's student directly bombarded Frieza on Frieza's forehead, and then Frieza, like a normal person, squinted and looked at Raditz indifferently. Is this your attack, Raditz? Frieza smiled contemptuously. Super Saiyan, that's all. Rabanz's eyes widened. Foley's big hand grabbed Raditz's arm at once. Raditz snapped his teeth and let out a miserable cry. Crack. Flipping brakes. Only a screeching sound was heard. Raditz's hand 09 was removed by Frieza at the time. Tong-ah-ah. Raditz's severed arm was full of blood, his face was pale, and it's no big deal to call you loudly, the trash is trash after all. Frieza's tail gently used Raditz and flew out at that time. Hit the ground heavily, and completely fainted Raditz. Sun Wukong rushed down quickly to check Raditz's injury. The next one is you, Sun Wukong. Frieza smiled. Frieza's figure flickered, and Furry Ping, who appeared directly opposite Sun Wukong, bombarded with a powerful force. Sun Wukong throws his fist to block. Oh, both are Super Saiyans, you are much better than that trash Raditz. Fleagrass smiled, but I'm stronger. Chapter 333 Golden Frieza, Transformation. Boom. A ruthless and endless breath emerged from Frieza's body. At the same time, Frieza's body changed rapidly. Fourth form. Frieza's heavy punch hits Sun Wukong's membrane. Sun Wukong's body is slightly bent. Foley kicked out and hit Sun Wukong's chin. Sun Wukong's body turned a few pictures in midair, but after landing on the ground, Sun Wukong got up from the ground, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, with a faint smile on his face. Sun Wukong glanced at Fulikao and said to Brawly behind him, "Brawly, help me bring Raditz to the temple and let Dandy help him treat him. Don't worry, he won't die, I'm still waiting for the drama." Brawly didn't mean it. Wukong looked at Raditz again and felt that his life was not in danger, but he didn't say more about Sun Wukong. "You should take care of yourself." Frieza smiled. Frieza's voice just fell. He heard a loud noise in the distance. Frieza glanced at it and found that Vegeta sent out a Qigong wave, killing all 12 of his younger brothers at the scene. Except for Solb, the rest of the people were killed. "Hee hee, Vegeta, you are very quick to start." Frieza rubbed her nose. "Kakarot, hurry up and solve it, or I will come." Vegeta coldly said okay, I'll clean him up. Sun Wukong nodded, his expression became serious. Immediately after, the blue flames of Sun Wukong bloomed all over his body, his hair stood up high, and turned into a Super Saiyan blue. "What? Blue hair?" Frieza froze slightly, giggling, "Are you a Super Saiyan with dyed hair?" Sun Wukong didn't say much nonsense. When he saw his figure, he appeared beside Frieza. Sun Wukong flew up and hit Frieza's chest. Frieza's face spasmed, and a mouthful of blood came out of his mouth. It flew backwards and smashed into the spaceship behind. Boom! The spaceship made a loud noise and exploded on the spot. "Frieza, you are no match for me at all, you are in the wrong place," Sun Wukong said in a cold voice. "Wow!" Frieza clenched her hands tightly, held it high, and hissed loudly. "Hateful, hateful, damn Saiyan wild monkey." The veins on Frieza's forehead popped up. "Frieza, you'd better admit defeat. You've finally been resurrected, isn't it good to leave the earth?" Sun Wukong gently persuaded. "Kakarot, you are so naive," Vegeta said coldly. "Do you really think that he can obediently open the earth?" "You are so crazy." Frieza's face darkened, her eyes narrowed. He, yes, what Vegeta said was naive to you all. "Since I, Frieza, dare to come, it means that my Frieza's strength is stronger than before, so please take good care of me." Foley's golden glow bloomed all over his body, and his body quickly turned into the color of gold. At the same time, the aura on Frieza's body is also maddening. After getting involved in Frieza's changes, Sun Wukong and Vegeta were a little surprised to match the popular name today. "You can call me Golden Frieza." Frieza was all smiles. Thoughtful. Vegeta smiled and said, "Kakarot, hurry up, otherwise let me come to Vegeta. I finally meet an opponent with similar strength, so let me come." Sun Wukong said that Ruo Ming flew away in Frieza's direction. Sun Wukong launched a violent attack on Frieza. Fleet's serious response. Time. The two fought evenly, no distinction was made. Minutes and seconds passed, and Frieza's stamina was obviously exhausted. The golden mode makes Frieza's energy consumption aggravated, a little powerless. Monkey King's Super Saiyan Blue has stabilized, and it is no longer as short-lived as when he played against the Sixth Universe. The abdomen. Foley Grass spit out a mouthful of water, and the whole person is not well. Goku gave Frieza a swipe. Frieza's body is violent. Become the norm. I'll fight you for one. Frieza's normality is the fourth form. Hoo. Frieza was gasping for breath, and her face looked pale. "Frieza, you lost." Sun Wukong also returned to normal, stretched out his hand, aimed at Frieza's head and hummed. With such a little level, he dared to come to Earth to take revenge. Vegeta smiled lightly. Vegeta breathed a sigh of relief. This time Sun Wukong and Frieza fought. In Vegeta's view, although Kakarot's strength has improved a lot, it is still under him, so Vegeta can feel relieved. For some reason, Vegeta suddenly thought of Baisi. Back then, Baisi was worried that he would be overtaken by Kaka. Now, this prince would actually have such worries. That can't exist. Hateful. Frieza was furious, and the danger was constantly changing. At this moment, I saw a laser coming fast, and went straight to the heart of Sun Wukong. Shoot 440 to go to Sun Wukong. At this critical juncture, bright flames bloomed all over the body, and the body did by itself. For a moment, the inverse laser rubbed Sun Wukong's body and hit the ground. The ground trembled violently. What's the situation? Vegeta was also taken aback. It's that chunky guy doing the sneak attack. Broly saw Thorb behind a rock at a glance. Bang! After Broly's voice fell, he waved his hand and killed Solb on the spot. He escaped. Frieza's face also changed color. So dangerous. So dangerous. Sun Wukong even broke out in a cold sweat. If it wasn't for the dimensional shake that Sun Wukong was already shaking with great ease, I'm afraid that just now. Just hang up scary. Actually playing sneak attack. Vegeta suddenly frowned. Wrong. Something is wrong. Just now, Kakarot suddenly had a very strange breath. Although this breath was short-lived, Kakarot was still captured by Vegeta. You actually hide your strength. Frieza, what else is there? Just show it off, said Sun Wukong. Foley rolled his eyes and looked at the earth. Chapter 334 Beerus. Frieza, are you summoning the god of destruction? Next, Frieza, are you going to take the opportunity to destroy the earth? Vegeta suddenly spoke. What did you say? Frieza's face changed color. Can't beat us, plan to destroy the earth, so that we can't survive in space. You can take revenge, Vegeta chuckled lightly. As Vegeta said that, Jiken, who became the fourth rank of the Super Saiyan, suddenly stepped forward, flew up, and kicked Frieza to a height and died. Vegeta shouted, and the flames bloomed on her body. Wait a minute, I have something to say. Flippin shouted loudly. HMPH, if you have something to say, go to the underworld and say it. Vegeta sneered. Wait for Vegeta to see what he says first. After all, Sun Wukong has a kind heart, and quickly persuaded Kakarot. If he takes the opportunity to destroy the earth later, Roger will not burn you. Vegeta said coldly and relieved, I think I will not let him succeed. Sun Wukong smiled confidently and I thought about it, what he wanted to say. Broly smiled and then you can do whatever you want. Vegeta didn't kill Frieza anymore. Hoo. Frieza hovered high above the sky, gasping for breath, the hole was full of bloodshots. Say, this is your last chance. Vegeta said indifferently, as far as I know, someone has already sued. What does Frieza mean with a slight smile? What do you want to say? Vegeta was slightly taken aback. This person I'm talking about, Vegeta, you must know very well, he is. Frieza smiled and said the other person's name word by word. The god of destruction Beerus one. Veggie's eyes widened. Bees. Sun Wukong is also a bit at a loss. What do you mean? Before coming to Earth, I had already dispatched my little brother to summon Beerus-sama. I believe that soon, Beerus-sama will come in person. Frieza laughed and looked down at Sun Wukong, Vegeta and others. Oh. What? Judging from your confused expressions, you probably don't know Beerus-sama's power, Sun Wukong. Broly. People don't know what to say for a while. Even if Beerus came, he wouldn't dare to act recklessly. With Roger here, he is a little god of destruction, and he can't afford any trouble. I have to say that with the advancement of UU technology, we can finally summon the distant god of destruction through a special method. Frieza was filled with emotion, thinking that when I was on Namek, I used a dragon to wake up Beerus-sama. Frieza, do you think you'll be fine if you call Beerus-sama here? Vegeta gently, or else. Frieza rubbed her nose. Vegeta, do you think that you can beat Beerus? One day, I will beat him. Tower clenched his fists. Then, I am waiting for this day to come. Frieza giggled. Universal capsule, Bulma's tomb. Beerus landed on Roger's side, his head lowered, and he didn't dare to say that. You were summoned by Frieza? Roger asked with a smile. Yes, Suji Angel. Beerus nodded. Go, you should know what to do, come and see me, it's superfluous. Roger reprimands Bees. If I don't come to see you, you will call me rude, and then find a chance to beat me up. Who am I to reason with? Beerus didn't take it seriously after receiving the call from Frieza's younger brother, but Beerus suddenly heard Frieza's younger brother say that this time Frieza was going to Earth to avenge Beerus's horror. Go to Earth for revenge. If you provoke Roger and implicate me in this, what should I do? Beerus flew directly to the Earth without any hesitation, and explained the situation to Roger in advance. Roger Angel, then I will leave first. Beerus bow and salute. Roger waved his hand. This flew quickly towards the scene of the battle. Beerus' speed is very fast. Jipping is the eye of the minister, and he appeared on the top of Frieza, Sun Wukong and Frieza. Is it you who summoned this god of destruction? After hearing Beerus's voice, Beerus' black wrist Dofri looked up and looked at it, and Frieza's wrist was immediately filled with surprises. Meet Beerus-sama. Frieza descended from the sky and bowed to Beerus. Beerus landed slowly, and just let Frieza kneel and worship him, but his face was a little gloomy, or did he destroy him now? So as not to dream too much at night. Beerus-sama, the two of them are Vegeta and Sun Wukong. They are very talented, and they don't take Beerus-sama seriously at all. Has Frieza said enough to Beerus in a hurry? Beerus sneered. Flipping is a little confused. Why doesn't Beerus look right? Why does he have murderous intent towards me in his eyes? Why is that? I already know the specific things. Beerus snorted coldly. Since you were resurrected, you should work hard for me instead of taking revenge. Ah, Frieza hates it. How? Do you have any opinion? Beerus asked with narrowed eyes. I dare not dare. Frieza couldn't get rid of Beerus's brain circuit, so he had no choice but to say, but Beerus-sama, it was because of their obstruction that I was able to do the job you arranged for me. Not doing well enough. Frieza, what have you done yourself, the King's Jiao? Do you really think I don't know? Beerus Trolley, under my banner, you buy the planets everywhere. My job is to sabotage, not to be a businessman. Frieza's risk of breaking a sweat. Beerus stretched out his hand, with a gloomy look, and pointed his hand at furry Safri, stunned, a little enlightened. What do you mean? Fellygrass feels that the whole person is not very calm. Are you going to kill me? Frieza was quick to respond. Destroy. Beerus is too lazy to talk nonsense with Frieza, so he will destroy Frieza, etc. Beerus-sama, Sun Wukong has spoken. Sun Wukong, what's the matter with you? Beerus gave Sun Wukong a dark and dangerous look. Foley looked at Monkey King and Weather Beerus. How is this possible? Has Beerus been to Earth? Chapter 335 Frieza, why did Beerus kill me? It is said that there is no way for the person you destroyed to be resurrected through the dragon. That is to say, his soul seems to have disappeared, right? Sun Wukong asked. Good. Beerus nodded. What did you say? Frieza's face changed color. I'll deal with him myself. I always feel that he just doesn't exist. It's a pity, Sun Wukong suggested. Up to you. Beerus has no objection. Foley. Beerus, what exactly do you mean? I'm part of your gang, okay. Are you going to kill me? Frieza, I'll give you a quick one. Sun Wukong's watch is calm and loud. Son Goku turns into Super Saiyan into blue. Sun Wukong came quickly towards Frieza. His hands could condense, and the squid wanted to kill Frieza on the spot. However, some people are faster. I saw that Vegeta had become the 4th rank of Super Saiyan, suddenly appeared in front of Sun Wukong, and stomped on for low. Frieza's body hangs in the air. Vegeta's whole body glows. Bang! A huge flame of energy, all of a sudden, flipping above the sky, was devoured by the Monkey King. 153 Beerus is also speechless. Hey, Bei Yanta, you are so fast. Sun Wukong scratched his head. HMPH, Kakarot, you are clearly too slow. Vegeta smiled. Frieza is dead, so, goodbye. This gave a faint greeting, turned into a colorful flame, and disappeared. Beerus went to Bulma's house first, returned to Roger, and then returned to Beerus' planet. Frieza's body was trapped in one, and the cocoon was hung from a tree by a rope, only one head was exposed. The next moment, a group of ragdolls began to sing along with gongs and drums. However, Frieza wondered. Why? Why did Beerus help Vegapay and the others? It shouldn't. Frieza thought of many possibilities. But I really can't figure it out. What is the reason for Jing Jing? Is it because of Roger that he let himself die? How can it be? Flipping was quick to dismiss the idea. Because from beginning to end, Roger didn't show up. Okay. BCDH. Earth, Universal Capsule's headquarters, Bulma's home. Just now. Was that Mr. Biss just now? Galactic Patrolman Gak stammered, his eyes widened in disbelief. Make a fuss. Bulma rolled her eyes. This is impossible. This is impossible. Isn't the bad god a fairy tale? Jake doesn't believe it. He shakes his head vigorously. Whatever you think. Bulma smiled, but then again, there's nothing you're worried about. Happened, you can rest assured. Is this the end? It always felt like I was dreaming. Jack scratched his head and gave Roger a deep look. Just now, Gak saw with his own eyes that Beerus, the god of destruction, was saluting Roger. What does this mean? It must be a pair of cards. The god of destruction must be a card. How could the dignified god of destruction, Beth, a figure that only existed in mythology, salute Roger? And Jake also discovered that the god of destruction almost knelt down for Roger. Bulma, Roger, you two are really enough. Even if you are looking for an actor, look for someone with better acting skills, okay? That cat's acting is so bad. Are you planning to kneel and lick Roger without seeing it? Then I say goodbye. Jack rode. When will my sister be back? Bulma asked. Should be back soon. Jack scratched his head, stepped on the spaceship, waved goodbye to Bulma, and the spaceship rushed into the sky and disappeared in a flash. From the resurrection to the death of Felipe, it only took a day or two for more than 4 months. After Gak returned to the Galactic Patrol headquarters, he investigated Roger. It's just that at the headquarters of the Galaxy Patrol, there is only Roger's unsophisticated materials. Jake knows all this information, and he can't see anything at all. On the same day, Jake went to Bulma again. Over the years, Tazy followed Jake to the headquarters of the Galaxy Patrol sauce and traveled around to enrich her writing materials. Jake, why are you so angry? Did something happen? Tiz asked Tazy. Was there anything special when Roger went to your house? Jake asked directly what was special. No, Tiz shook her head. Think again. If you think about it carefully, there is something special. Tazy began to recall. It seems that he told Bulma when he came to our house that he is a god and came to Earth to experience. As for other aspects, he is different from normal people. What's the difference? I think he just likes to talk big, and he doesn't have any other characteristics. He says he is a god. Going to Earth is an experience. Jake is slightly startled and you treat him as a joke. Tiz smiled. But did you know Tahuiz, Beerus, the god of destruction, salutes him? Jake raised his index finger and said seriously to Tazy. God of destruction Beerus. Isn't that a character from mythology? Is it the extras? Tiz doesn't believe it. I thought so too, but I always felt something was wrong. Jake scratches his head and smiles. Jack, you think too much. Tazy smiled slightly. Age 770. Another half year has passed since the Frieza incident. Earth, Universal Capsule Company headquarters. Has Trunks grown this big? Have fun. Bulma squeezed Trunks' face with her hand. Don't pinch it, it's easy to drool. Emily was speechless for a while. Hee, sorry. Bulma let go and squeezed again. But it's fun, it's very Emily squeezed. You are still pinching. By the way, Emily, Vegeta is quite competent as a father, right? Bulma glanced at Vegeta in the distance and said to Amy. Not to mention, apart from cultivating, he hadn't fulfilled his responsibilities as a father at all, and he had never hugged Trunks once. Emily has a little complaint. Saiyans are like that, right? Bulma rode. That's different, wasn't Gohan raised by Goku? Emily rode peas. Someone said that I don't have a new cover anymore. Don't make trouble, if you give me enough pictures, I can change a cover a day. For me, it only takes 10 minutes to make a new cover, and the same applies version of the cover, like this magazine, in just 3 minutes. Chapter 336. The 10th rank of Super Saiyan is qualified to challenge me. Goku is a special case. Bulma had to persuade. Don't forget, Vegeta is the prince of the Saiyans. When he first came to Earth, it was very cold and blue. It is your credit for these changes over the years. Vegeta stood beside Roger respectfully. I told you a long time ago that since Super Saiyan has a 4th tier, there are 5th and 6th tiers. Roger looked at Vegeta and said. But I have managed to reach the middle stage of the 4th rank now. Vegeta gritted his teeth. I am afraid that the 5th rank is still far away from Saiyans. When they are strong, they are strong. You are because you have not met a suitable opponent for the past 6 months. So there is not much progress, which is a normal phenomenon. Roger said. Broly is very strong. I still haven't improved. Vegeta was a little sullen. Broly is very powerful, but for you, well, is not a battle of life and death. Only a battle of life and death will allow you to break through yourself and reach new heights. Roger rode. Veg can't stop talking, you're right. However, Vegeta hesitated for a while, and what she wanted to say was not said after all. What happened? You want to ask, at what rank a Super Saiyan can beat me, right? Asked Roger. Yes. Vegeta nods. It's probably the 10th grade. Roger smiled. How? Don't you believe 7 inches? Roger looked at Vegeta with a smile. Vegeta shuddered, almost discolored. I believe. Can't I believe it? Don't get away from me, okay? If you don't believe me, I will give you a simple analysis today. Roger smiled and said lightly, if you can cultivate to the 5th level of Super Saiyan, you can hang the destruction idol in Universe 6. If you can cultivate to the 5th level of Super Saiyan full power, you can hang Beerus, 6th order. You can barely let Whis play with you, 6th order full power. You can tie with Whis. As for the 7th order, you can hang the 7th order Whis with full power, and then you can hang the Angel Vados of the 6th universe. After Vegeta heard the words, he silently calculated the gap between himself and these gods. Only the 7th order full power can hang the Angel Vados. 7th order. Still full power. At present, I am only the 4th order, and it is too difficult to even reach full power. Staples silence. Angel Vados, Angel Beavis is stronger. Vegeta asked Roger in surprise and smiled, without answering Vegeta's question. What about the 8th order? Vegeta asked again. The 8th order full power can hang the Angel Karen, that is, the elder brother of Whis, the angel of the 8th universe. The difference in strength between Angel Roger and Angel is so big. Vegeta was shocked. Originally, Vegeta thought that the strength of the angels was similar. Step into the 9th level, and you can draw a tie with the trainee angel Ruosi. What did Roger say? That female angel, so powerful. Vegeta was shocked to the 10th level again before she was qualified to fight me. Roger smiled. Vegeta stopped talking. So sad. 10th order, only qualified to play against Roger. Just grips. It hasn't been said if it can be beaten. Guobei Gun Gun, I am afraid that you will have no hope of reaching the 10th order in your life. You can reach the 5th order, which is the limit. Maybe you can barely enter the 6th order if you work hard. Roger smiled slightly. It doesn't matter, you have children and grandchildren, you can set up a goal for them, lest they have nothing to do. Vegeta dazed and immediately turned to her son Trunks. Or, now give this kid a special training. Although he is less than 1 year old, as a Saiyan, he should be able to start training himself. Vegeta appeared next to Emily and grabbed Vegeta, who was still sleeping on the Trunks path. Are you going to hug Trunks? Emily was startled and tall. Is Vegeta taking on the responsibility of being a father? However, the next moment, Emily petrified. I saw Vegeta grab Trunks and threw it directly into the sky. It disappeared and was disturbed. There was a loud noise in the distance. It was the sound of Trunks falling from the sky. Shocked. Short lag. Emily rolled her eyes and fainted on the ground. Wow wow! At the moment Emily fell to the ground, Trunks cried in the distance. Ask for flowers. Trunks. I'm just under a year old. What do you mean by throwing me into the air to free fall? Trunks was perplexed. What did I do wrong? Daddy doesn't want me. Beguiling appeared beside Trunks, grabbed his little arm, and threw it into the air again. After Trunks fell, he caught it and threw it into the air again. Emily, who had just woken up, tilted her head after seeing this scene, and once again fainted. Vegeta, what are you doing? Bulma followed Lai's eye too. Is that your own son? Exercise and train him. Vegeta glanced at Bulma and replied, when I was his age, I could already fly on the planet Vegeta, which has 10 times the gravity of the Earth. Bulma doesn't talk, it's all he wants. It sucks, Emily. Just as Vegeta was having a great time, a round spaceship-like aircraft suddenly appeared above the sky. In the aircraft, a person could be vaguely seen inside. The aircraft seemed to have lost control, fell from the sky, and landed in the yard of Bulma's house. Vegeta was slightly startled. Bulma was also stunned for a moment, looking at the aircraft in confusion. Roger stopped drinking tea and glanced in the direction of the Ku aircraft. There was a person inside. Bulma shouted. A blue-haired boy named Vegeta walked over silently, and looked inside. Vegeta found that this blue-haired boy was somewhat similar to Trunks. What's the situation? He appears to be in a coma, rescue him. Bulma instructed Vegeta. Vegeta hurriedly stepped forward to break the aircraft and pull the young man out. Who is this person? Not to mention, he looks a bit similar to Vegeta. Bulma looked at the unconscious young man on the right and looked at Vegeta. Vegeta didn't speak. Roger, do you know him? Bulma asked Roger again as if it was Trunks from the future. What did Roger say? Trunks. Vegeta was slightly taken aback. Chapter 337 The Dark Man Appears. The scepter appeared in Roger's hand, and a healing flame hit Trunks. Immediately, Trunks' injury completely recovered. The next moment, Trunks woke up from the coma. When Trunks opened his eyes, he saw Vegeta at a glance. Dad. Great. So, I have successfully come to this era. Trunks was full of sorrow and joy, and at the same time, he looked around and made sure that there was no danger, and then he was relieved. Are you really Trunks from the future? Vegeta asked. Yes, Dad. Trunks nodded, looked at Roger who was not far away, and hurried forward. Meet Roger Angel One and tell me, what will happen in the future? Looking at Trunks thoughtfully, Trunks actually knew himself. That is to say, the end of Trunks is somewhat different from the Dragon Ball world that he knows. Roger is not surprised. Because of his appearance, the Dragon Ball world has changed. It is a normal future Earth. Tan arrived at the attack of the Dark People, and basically it was about to be destroyed. There are only less than 3,000 human beings in the entire Earth. Trunks was full of grief and anger, and clenched the student's head. How could this be? Bulma exclaimed. Mom, how did you faint? Trunks saw Emily fainted again, and said with a confused look, Trunks. What's going on with Earth? Vegeta shouted angrily that you were halfway through, and then said what does your mother do? Hello, Emily, wake up. Vegeta patted Emily's cheek lightly, so as not to wake Emily from Trunks' distraction. Mom, are you sad? Great, Trunks said happily. What do you call my mother? Who are you? Emily is at a loss. I'm Trunks, Mom, Trunks replied. Hold Lonks. You have made your father an adult. Emily was stunned, her face paled, she rolled her eyes, and fainted again. Mother, what's wrong with you? Trunks was taken aback. Mom's words, how many thoughts? Why did you let Dad get into the big game? Even Trunks heard a little boy crying in the woods beside him. Trunks flew over in curiosity and saw himself, who was less than 1 year old, lying in a garbage next to the bucket, weeping. Trunks hurried forward and hugged his childhood self. Dad, what happened to me when I was a kid? Trunks flew back. Trunks, what are you talking about? Vegeta said angrily. I said. Trunks smiled awkwardly, it's like this. Me, I heard that the Earth is very interesting, so I went to the Earth. Not long after I arrived on the Earth, there was a terrible the Dark Man appeared and turned the whole world into the end of the world. I played against him, but unfortunately, I am not his at all. I heard that the Earth is very interesting. You mean, you came to the Earth from another planet? Begeekin asked. Yes Dad, I'm from the Roger universe. Trunks replied, then added, this is what you now call the new universe. Laugh. So, in a few more years, we'll be over. Vegeta is right at Roger. Yes, my future dad told me that we should set off to the new universe 3 years later in this era, when Mr. Wukong, Brother Gohan, Uncle Piccolo, Uncle Krillin, all our warriors on Earth, do move to the new universe to live. Trunks nodded slightly. In the new universe, the planet we live in is very vast, with an area 10 times the size of the Earth. Oh, interesting. Vegeta nodded. Dad is still the god of destruction in the new universe. Trunks smiled. What did you say? Vegeta's face lit up with joy, and then her color changed. Vegeta groaned in her heart. Stupid, don't say it. Begkan kicked Trunks to the ground. Dad, what's the matter? Why did you hit me? Trunks was stunned. Vegeta grins. Vegeta knew very well that, with Roger's character, if he knew that his future self was the god of destruction, then in this parallel time and space, he would never be able to make himself the god of destruction again. It was all a bad thing for Trunks. Span. Bei Gun Gun, you can rest assured that the god of destruction will be the same as the Kaiwang god, and let you fight for it yourself. Roger knew what Vegeta was thinking, and simply interjected. As for what Trunks said, although it was a little vague, Roger basically figured out that Roger was indeed an angel, and with mind reading, it was still easy to figure out the ins and outs of the whole thing. Do we fight for ourselves? After Vegeta heard the words, the color of her eyes changed again and again, and if she fought for it, she was afraid. Vegeta admits that she may not be able to beat Broly. Unless, I can break through the limit and reach the 5th order Trunks of the Super Saiyan, the future god of destruction is also running. Asked Vegeta. Yes, it should be 3 years after this era, the year chosen by the god of destruction, we have not long since passed. Trunks rode. And me, Bulma couldn't help asking. Aunt Bulma naturally moved there too, including the Universal Capsule Company. Trunks tapped Bulma with a slight sigh of relief. Future me, beat Broly. Vegeta felt proud for a while. Lonks simply stopped talking and lowered his head. What's your expression like? 5.8 inches Vegeta stare. The day Uncle Broly ran for God of Destruction, for some reason, he suddenly had a stomach ache. Trunks smiled wryly. Not long after the game started, Uncle Broly jumped off the platform and ran to the test center. Vegeta. What the hell didn't I beat Broly? It was Broly who abstained because of a stomach upset. Vegeta didn't know what to say for a while. With that said, aside from Broly, I got the final win, hee. Vegeta smiled, and the horn evoked a confident arc. Kakarot was defeated by me too, right? Mr. Goku doesn't seem to have much interest in the god of destruction and deliberately lost the game. Trunks scratched his head. Chapter 338 God of Destruction Vegeta. What did you say? Vegeta's face was a little overwhelmed. Don't be angry, Dad, I always hear what I've heard. I wasn't even 4 years old at the time, so I don't remember a lot of things at all. Trunks explained quickly, these things are all spread from the gods and cannot be taken seriously. At least, after Dad became the god of destruction, he could easily hang Uncle Broly and Mr. Wukong. I was thinking that maybe Uncle Broly or Mr. Wukong was deliberately smearing Dad, so he made these words during the competition. Trunks guessed, at least no matter what, Dad won the final victory. As for the person who made the rumors, Mr. Goku probably didn't have this scheming, and it was probably Uncle Broly who did it. Alright, let's get down to business. Vegeta's way. Trunks immediately told what happened in the end. In fact, it was very simple. Trunks had long heard that Angel Roger had once practiced on Earth in the 7th universe. So Trunks also wants to go to Earth. With the help of the king god Bardock, Trunks came to Earth and started his training. 12. Lynx and Duck made an agreement. After a year, Bardock will come and pick him up in person. You asked Bardock to send you. Do you think that my god of destruction can't teleport? Vegeta asked with a dark face if there was no father at work. Because Roger Universe was born first, there were too many planets, and the ecology lost its peace. After my father took office, he has been busy destroying the planet. Lynx responds to Bejikin. Been busy destroying the planet. How many planets were born in the new universe? You go on. Vegeta nodded. My life on Earth is not bad, unfortunately peaceful. It's only been 3 months, even if a black dark man, very powerful, I'm not an opponent at all. Sis lowered his head, it's only been a short time. In just 1 month, human beings on Earth have basically been. After I was wiped out, I was on Earth, and there was no way to get in touch with the father of the new universe. I see that you came to our time on this instrument. Vegeta pointed to the aircraft in the distance. I was in desperation at that time, and suddenly thought of the old site of the Universal Capsule Company. Maybe I will find some miracle. Found this time machine in the basement of the laboratory. Bulma was startled. Yes, a time machine that can travel through time and space. Trunks nodded. Are you kidding me? I didn't think about researching the time machine. Bulma scratched her head. Could it be that Dad came up with the research? This is the time machine of the 12th universe. It should be the one I came back to for your research. Roger glanced at the time machine that Trunks was riding in, and explained to Bulma. Ah, has the 12th universe developed a time machine? Bulma was very surprised. The technology of the 12th universe is so advanced. If you like doing research, I can bring you some high-tech stuff from the 12th universe. Jia Xiao Xiao. Okay. Bulma nodded. Trunks, then you're in a time machine to our time, right? Asked Vegeta. Yes, Trunks replied. HMPH, useless things, let a dark person bully and run into our era. Vegeta thinks her son is really worthless. Trunks, suffocation. Well, let me see what level your strength is. Vegeta said, attack me with all your strength. It is not necessary. I'm not a bad god yet. I'm just an ordinary human being just like you. Vegeta beckoned, don't be long-winded. Hurry up. All right. Trunks nodded and put the little one on the next bed next to him. Bang. All of a sudden, Trunks' body burst into a breath of amazing energy and vastness. With Trunks as the center, it spread out. Trunks had golden glow blooming all over his body, his hair stood up high, and electric arcs jumped all over his body. Oh, this is Super Saiyan Tier 2. Vegeta moved slightly to the right of Trunks' road. Yes Dad, this is my strongest form right now. Why did Trunks nod? You are so old, can't you become a 4th tier Super Saiyan? Vegeta's danger is all black. Vegeta felt that in the future, his son should at least become the 4th rank of Super Phi, right? By the way, what about your tail? Asked Vegeta again. Once in a fight with Goten, he knocked off his tail, and it never grew back. Trunks scratched his head. Goten. Who? Vegeta was slightly startled. Baozi Mountain, Wukong's home. Yu Kongming, you see he looks exactly like you. What do you think we should name him? Chi-Chi looked at Xiaoyao in her arms, and asked Sun Wukong in a dangerous and tender way. Just call him Wushan. Sun Wukong also touched the little 320 baby Wushan with his hand. I'm the elder brother. Sun Wufan was happily on the sidelines. I suddenly sensed a strange and powerful aura, approaching Bulma's house. Is it a powerful opponent brought by Roger? Great. Monkey King's eyelids are full of surprises. Goku, what are you doing? I just had a baby. Kiki's face changed color. Zunchi, I'll go take a look, I'll be right back. Sun Wukong waved his hand and said, Gohan, help take care of mother. Sun Wukong teleported and appeared beside Trunks in a flash. Son Gohan. Kakarot, what are you coming to join in the fun? Vegeta drank TD angrily. Who is this? Sun Wukong silently looked at Trunks, is that the transformation of Super Saiyan into the second order. Hello, Mr. Wukong. Trunks nodded. You know me. Who are you? Sun Wukong asked in surprise. I am Trunks. Trunks smiled. I'm what he was when he grew up. Chapter 339 The Internship King God's Amas. Sun Wukong looked at Trunks, and then looked at the little Trunks in the crib, and immediately understood that, you are from the future. Sun Wukong nodded. I said there was a strong strange aura, so it was yours. In other words, now your transformation is your most powerful strength, right? Bagip asked Ruo Trunks. Yes, Dad. Trunks was a little embarrassed. The reason I went to Earth to practice was to see if I could find a chance to become a Super Saiyan. The god of people, or grow a tail and become the fourth tier of super demihumans. No wonder you are no match for the Dark Man. Vegeta smiled softly and Trunks dropped the bag again. Okay, I don't think there is any need for a test, you're so disappointing, Trunks. Vegeta sighed and walked silently to Moore's bed. Vegeta grabbed little Trunks' hand and stomach and threw it into the air. Trunks. Trunks is a little confused. What are you doing here? I'm doing the right thing now, I should have trained you earlier. Vegeta rode. Trunks. Ah, Vegeta, did you train your son like this? Sun Wukong is thoughtful, isn't it? Vegeta smiled, caught the little Trunks, and threw it into the sky again. The next moment, Vegeta let the little Trunks come to freedom. The feudal body is a Saiyan anyway, and this level of injury is immortal. Since there is something you can't solve, let me solve it for you. Vegeta suddenly came to the end of interest. Dark Man. Vegeta, are looking for an opponent to learn from each other. It's time for you to show up. Vegeta, what happened? Sun Wukong suddenly came to the living god Mr. Wukong. The thing is like this. Trunks simply told Sun Wukong what happened. After Sun Wukong heard the words, his eyes were shining. Dark people, I want to go. Vegeta, I'm going with you. Sun Wukong volunteered such a good thing, if I don't go, isn't it a pity? Vegeta rolled her eyes. Think about it carefully, let Kakarot go with you. At least I can take the opportunity to know how strong this guy Kakarot is when he fought Frieza last time. Kakarot's peculiar aura is so weird. Roger, can you take us to the future? Vegeta's words, I'll take you there, and you won't be able to achieve the effect of the experience. Roger smiled, the appearance of the Dark Man this time is also a good opportunity for the two of you to practice. Grasp then how do we get to 7? The time machine is broken, right? Vegeta asked if the time machine could be repaired. Roger said, you guys go back and prepare first. This time the opponent can't be said in a small drama. Roger Angel, you already know the identity of this opponent. How surprised Trunks T was. I have been in the future for a long time, and I have never been able to figure out the true origin of the Dark Man. I didn't expect that Angel Roger should activate Chu now. Jia smiled and looked at Sun Wukong. Trunks was stunned. Roger really knows. He knew straight away that the Dark Man in the end had the appearance of Mr. Sun Wukong, and he was worthy of being the great god of the universe. This kind of thing can be known just by talking about it. Lonks suddenly felt that Roger was really great. In fact, Trunks didn't have many contacts with Roger in the future. Most of the things about Roger were equivalent to the legends of the gods. Go back, when the time machine is repaired, I will naturally contact you. Roger smiled and nodded with Vegeta and Son Goku and Trunks. Soon, Vegeta took Trunks, Emily, and Xiao Te to leave Sun Wukong, but did not leave immediately, but got close to Roger. Is there something wrong? Asked Roger. Roger, why can't I sense my dad's loyalty? Sun Wuxi asked, scratching his head. Your father is in the new universe. The new universe has not yet been fully finalized, and it is not connected to our universe. Roger replied, besides, it is connected to each other, because it is too far away, you can't sense his. The breath is so indulgent, it's really nerve-wracking. I'll talk about it later. Monkey King thought about it and decided to solve the problem of the Dark Man first. Bulma finally repaired the time machine from Universe 12. The main reason is that the time machine is broken. It's not the core, but some parts have problems. Ma's laboratory is still related. Roger, who had temporarily replaced the broken parts, immediately summoned Brawley. Angel Roger, am I the only one here? After Brawley came here, I found that no one else came here, and my heart will take you to learn more and kill someone by the way. Roger smiled slightly. Brawley didn't ask who he wanted to kill, and readily agreed. Roger swore Brawley turned into a bright colorful flame and broke into the void. The 10th universe, the realm of kings and gods. The king of God Xian is fighting a green-skinned young man while an old man watches. The battle continued for a while, and Xian was a little lost. The green-skinned young man knocked Xian to the ground with one punch. At the same time, the young man's palm will continue to attack. So far, this game ends here, the old man shouted loudly, and the green-skinned young man quickly stopped, and stepped forward to help Xian up. I'm so sorry, Xian. The old man expressed his deep gratitude. The king is good, bowed and saluted. Haha, it doesn't matter. It's a pity that Jabit is dead. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to take action. Xian scratched his head, but then again, Zamaz is from the north. Realm King, right, it's amazing, I'm really impressed. The green-skinned young man, also known as Zamaz, smiled. Zion, are you really alright? The old man asked Kavas again with concern. You don't need to care, it's normal to have injuries during the game. Xian smiled. In order to become the king god of the 10th universe, Zamasu, you can fight hard enough. Even if it is the king god of all universes, you are considered a relatively powerful existence in the park. However, the 7th universe is also very great. Zamasu smiled. I heard that you also defeated the rogue Boo. Haha, not that I beat it. Xian scratched his head, and you don't have to be humble when you are almost sweating. Zamaz smiled. Chapter 340 Watching for 1,000 years. In fact, it was only with the help of some human beings that the matter of Boo, the people of Shaman, made progress. Xian smiles bitterly. Xian thinks it's better not to tell Rogers. Luo. It's not worth talking to a little king of the northern realm. Humanity. Zamaz was slightly taken aback. It's Jia Yaren, they are actually very powerful. Xian smiled slightly. Asian. Zamaz is new to the race. There are no Saiyans in the 10th universe. It's a shame to say it. Recently, the strength of many human beings has surpassed the Sai of our realm king, Xin Yuzhong. I can't beat Roger. Now Bei Gun and Sun Wukong are far more powerful than me, let alone that perverted Brawley. Terrible one, but thankfully they haven't surpassed God of Destruction. Xian breathed a sigh of relief and said with a smile, sure enough, some things are more suitable for the sour evil god to do. In my opinion, unwanted things are best removed. Zamaz smiled slightly. Is it best to get rid of unwanted things? Xian doesn't understand 007, so, let's work together, and I'll maintain the order of our universe too. Zamaz smiled and Xian couldn't understand, so he simply ignored it. It's time for me to say goodbye too, Kavas. Xian rode. Okay, bye, Kavas nodded. Xian teleported and disappeared in a flash. Yes, you have no problem with martial arts. Benwas applauded. From now on, slaughter and slaughter your heart. Zamasu was slightly taken aback. Stargazing room. Here we'll show the changes in the 10th universe's major star fields. Zamaz, you see this planet called Barbary. Kavas pointed to one of the primitive planets, Xingzuo, and two monster-like humans were fighting. Use the most primitive Taili to fight with a stick. Good wild check. Zamaz was speechless for a while. This kind of human-like life has just been born on this planet recently. It is indeed a bit barbaric at the moment. What do you think should be done? Asked Kavas. Clean them up. Get rid of them now. Zamaz replied decisively. Zamasu, as I said, we are Kaio gods, and what you said is what the god of destruction should do. Kavas is a little dissatisfied. Then tell me, what should I do as a realm god? Zamaz asked Shuang them. Gebas replied, Lord Gebas of Watching 1,000 years, I am very aware of the characteristics of this kind of human being. There are too many similar human beings, even if it is watching 1,000 years, they will not rewrite their savage nature. Jeevius stopped talking. A brief silence. Then, let's go to witness after 1,000 years, what will happen to them. 1,000 years from Jeevius Road. Zamaz got used to it. In Kvass's hand, a box suddenly appeared. Open the box and there are 5 rings inside. Lord Kvass, this is? Zamasu asked curiously. This is a space-time ring that can pierce through time and space. Jeevius said, come on, the 2 first appeared on the planet Barbary. Sure enough, the humans on the planet Barbary were very savage, and there was a large-scale battle between them, and they died hopelessly. Zamaz shook his head. Although they are barbaric now, in the next 1,000 years, maybe they will change. Jeevius smiled and opened the box of the space-time ring. We will use this space-time ring to witness it for ourselves. Seeing the space-time ring for the first time, Zamaz is also amazed. Can you really be able to travel through time and space? Yes, but you can only travel to the future, and going back to the past is forbidden. Jeevius explained, because, going back in time changes history. You look at the row above, these are other worlds created by changing history. Zamaz thought, that is to say, these are used to travel to the parallel world. Kvass nodded. This main ring, is there no way to go to the parallel world? Zamaz asked again. It's not impossible, the main reason is that our power is not enough. If we have enough power, Kvass who can go to the parallel world replied, warm. What are you asking about? It's nothing, just ask. Zamaz laughed. I didn't expect there to be so many parallel universes. In the 12th universe, the highly civilized humans created a time machine that should have been impossible to create, and went back to the past to change history has led to the emergence of so many rings of parallel worlds. Jeevius sighed. The operation time was banned later. 4 rings. That's an increase from the last time I checked. It seems that there is Zamaz recently. I already understand about the ring. Then, let's go to the Barbary Star 1,000 years later. Kvass nodded. I'll put away the other rings first. Kvass and picked them up. Lost an earring and handed it to Zamaz. This is. Zamaz was slightly startled. It's called Patara earrings. Jeevius explained. Going to the future time and space. Originally only Kaiwangshan was qualified. I first made an exception to promote you to Kaiwangshan. The earrings are on the left ear just like me. Don't wear them wrong. If you wear them on the right ear, the 2 of us will fit together, and we will never be able to be one person again. Zamaz. How about it? Do you want to merge with me? Kvass smiled. Ah, I won't talk about it next time. Zamaz sneered. You old man. Who is going to be with you? Zamaz put on earrings. Well, then focus on the ring, or turn the ring, and think about 1,000 years later. The 2 of them appeared on the planet Barbary 1,000 years later. This is the star of Barbary 1,000 years later. Kvass is smiling, and a kind smile emerges from danger. The king and gods enter. Look over there. Zamaz pointed to the distance. Kvass looks over. I saw corpses all over the place in the distance. It seems that the building is unbearable to see. HMPH, they are all stupid humans. Even after 1,000 years, they still have no peace. Zamasia, not only that, but their barbaric behavior has intensified. Chapter 341 Kvass, your students are so rude. Zamaz, look over there. Kvass pointed to the position he saw, where the Barbary people were negotiating for peace. Violence doesn't always exist. Human beings are also developing in the direction of peace. Just as he was talking, there was a Barbary star holding a weapon, and Zamaz slammed Zamaz down and waved his hand gently. The Barbary star flew out at that time, and the impact of the main body rumbled behind him. The mountain fell to the wall. Zamaz, you listen to me, Gwozdorf. The Barbary star that Bozamaz flew away did not die, and stood up from the ruins. Hoo-hoo. The said Barbary star was clearly incensed. The hole was bloodshot and glared at Zamaz. Zamasu's eyes flashed with a strong murderous intent. The knife in Zamasu's hand emerges. Kvass was surprised. "Hello, what do you want to do?" Zamaz asked Kvass. At this moment, the Barbary star rushed towards Zamaz's side fiercely. Zamaz sneered. Zamaz raised his knife and fell, and directly split the opponent into two halves from head to toe. "Stop me. It's too late to say this." Kvass is furious. "Let's go back," Kvass shouted. Zamaz comes back to his senses. The two flickered and returned to their own time and space. "Give me back the Potala earrings." Jivia's face was cold, and then he sighed and said, "Zamaz, why do you do that kind of thing? Don't kill him, they just come back. They are creatures with no existence value, let alone price annoyance, they are garbage that destroys the environment." Zamaz said sternly while putting on the earrings. "Nothing in this world is worthless. Even earthworms can change the soil we're, or the sound can become food. Kawas taught, everything born of nature has meaning. But Wormwell doesn't try to become human," Zamath argued. "I'm just giving an example, why do you hate human caves so much?" Kvass's face is sweating. Is this playing the piano to a cow? "Human beings with wisdom will one day destroy the ring and destroy the planet we created. The planet Zama is not just dark to us. Jiviasdorf. Shouldn't we just let Barbary Star go?" Zamaz asks and sees again. If they are going to perish, they will naturally perish. Kvass was tired. "Lord Kaiwangshan, Zamasu is a little confused about our work. You should know Ming." Kvass raised his head and pointed at Zamaz, "Of course to protect the peace. When the planet loses its peace or balance and is seriously damaged, bring it back to the right track. Don't you think? This is very indifferent. We should be more active in using our power to fight evil." Zamaz suggested, "That kind of unreasonable guy, but there are so many, so it is the work of the god of destruction." Kvass sighed. Zamath. "I should be an intern god of destruction. Why should I be the king of gods?" Zamasu, a strong sense of justice is a good thing, but too strong justice is just like Jia, you have to be more open-minded. A broad mind will guide you towards the path of peace of mind. Guastown taught that it means that if you see it, you don't see it. Zamaz was speechless for a while. "Mas, you do have the power to punish evil, I admit," Jivius said, "but don't be arrogant, or you'll get into trouble one day. Compared with combat power, protecting the world with a peaceful heart is the mission and responsibility of Kaiwangshan, do you understand? Then what is the power that I have cultivated all the time for? If Zamasu is tangled, think it is to experience your state of mind." Jivius rode. Zamaz did not speak after a brief silence. "I get it," very embarrassed. Zamaz bows and salutes. He knew that he and Kvass had completely different philosophies and it was futile to continue. "That's good." Gurgans turned around and smiled gratified. For the old man, it is still very hard to travel through 1,000 years. "Let's make a cup of tea and drink." Zamaz looked to the back of Gurhas to the right and did not say a word. At this time, Lord Jawangshan, that is. Zamaz suddenly found that there was a bright light flashing in the distance. Kvass also glanced at the bitter side. Roger and Brawley descended from the sky, and Zhang was in the two of them. "Ask for flowers." "You are." Kvass doesn't know Roger, let alone Brawley. "This is the realm of the 10th universe." Brawley looked around curiously. "It's similar to the king of the gods in our 7th universe." "So you are from the 7th universe?" Gross asked. "Yes, I'm an intern cherub. My name is Roger." Roger smiled slightly. "He's Brawley." It turned out to be an angel. Roger, disrespectful. Gurgans hurriedly greeted with a smile, and made a brief self-introduction. Of course, he also introduced Zamaz, and instructed, "Zamaz, go to Feng Zamaz. Isn't that the servant of God of Destruction?" Nisi, there are also rumors that the angel is the master of the God of Destruction. However, he is just a prodigy during the internship period, so the divine position is very ordinary, right? You asked my dignified realm king to serve Kvass to an intern angel and a small human being, you are enough. Regarding the God Spectrum, released by the God Realm. Zamaz did not know because of his low status, so he did not know that the angel's God status was very high. Zamath, are you listening? Kavas thinks that Zamaz is really rude and I asked you to bring tea. What are you doing there in a daze? Ah, yes. Zamaz couldn't disobey Kavas's orders, so he had to run to work quickly. The tea was ready. Zamaz Shang poured Kavas a cup first with the teapot. To the guests first. Kavas rolled Zamaz with a glance. You are the king of the realm, don't you understand the basic etiquette? How can anyone pour tea for the master first? Zamaz looked at Kavas, then at Brawley, feeling a little annoyed in his heart. Zamaz was upset because of the Barbary star, but now another human has appeared, and he also showed a very casual look. The expression made him more and more unhappy. Enough, human being. If you have snacks, you should take the initiative to ask for the teapot now and pour me some tea. As a result, Zamaz found that this human named Brawley looked at him silently. The meaning couldn't be more obvious. He seemed to ask, why haven't you poured me tea? Ahem, Master Kavas's students don't seem to be very polite. Brawley smiled, adding fuel to the fire. Chapter 342 Brawley hangs Zamaz. Zamaz. Jeevius's face is a little unbearable. Zamaz gritted his teeth and poured tea for Brawley first. Hey, Zamath, you should pour tea for Roger Angel first, don't you know the order? Brawley said angrily. Brawley sent his teacup to Roger's table with both hands. It's too bad. Roger shook his finger. You. Zamaz's angry guest emerged. You are a servant of the god of destruction, and you are at most equal to me. What are you pretending to be? I will try. Brawley took the tea boy of Rosamaz directly and poured himself a cup. Brawley also sprayed the tea. It's really unpleasant to drink, and it's about to catch up with the pot-washing water on our earth. Brawley rode. Cough cough. This is the best nourishing heart in our universe. 23-carat tea. Do you two think it tastes bad? Kavas asked with a smile. It's really hard to drink. Brawley nodded. You two, that's enough. Zamaz is furious. You don't want to give your face, do you? Zamaz, you close me. Kavas reprimanded. It doesn't matter, I came here this time, and I also heard that there is a real king in the 10th universe, so I want Brawley to compete with him. Roger smiled and said to Jeevius. So obviously, Roger Angel is going to let Brawley and Zamasu fight and learn from each other. Kavas got it right. Roger nodded. Oh, fight for me. I got interested when Zamarston. You said earlier. I can poop you all. How excited Zamasuti is. You wait for me. I will let you see and see. You invite a god, what kind of consequences will you suffer? Roger Angel, do you really let me fight him? Does he seem to be strong? Brawley looked confident. Ha ha ha, human, what did you say? You said that the strength of this god is average. Zamaz smirked. Yes. Brawley nodded. Very good. Zamaz gritted his teeth, and these words popped out between his teeth. Brawley, don't talk nonsense, play with him. Roger ordered. Accidentally play dead. Brawley asked. Play to death, the realm of the gods is the realm king. Roger smiled. I see. Brawley stood up. Interesting. Zama Duan smiled and stood directly opposite to Brawley. Zamaz, remember, this game is just for sparring, you have already moved to kill, which will disturb your mood. Kavas can see Zamaz at a glance. With the killing intent in Ma's heart, he couldn't help frowning, and persuaded Rosamaz. Well, Kavas, with his little ability, it's still tender to kill Brawley. Roger smiled. You can rest assured, if Bu Sweeney really died, it was because he had no ability. Kavas, are you an angel? Angels are not like you. The angel of our universe, Kes, is very amiable. Well, the battle begins. Jeevius stopped persuading him to say anything, and immediately shouted to the two of them. HMPH, human beings, I want you to see the power of God. Zamaz laughed, taking out the money for the fight. Potential. Boom. Brawley didn't bring much nonsense, and immediately transformed into an ape-like form when he came up, the next moment, Brawly called out to Uzama's blossoming. Zamath smiled contemptuously and thumped Brawly's chest with a powerful punch. This lesson directly hit Brawly in the chest. Brawly has no defenses at all. After he turned into an ape form, he can be said to be rough-skinned and thick-skinned, inheriting the characteristics of a giant ape. Seeing that Brawly didn't take his own attack seriously, Zamaz's face changed color. Then, Zamaz's heart trembled, and he was shocked to find that Brawly's big hand grabbed his face. Brawly's big hand kept expanding in front of his eyes. It's too late for Zamaz to dodge. At that time, Brawly grabbed his big hand on Zamaz's face. Brawly held Zamaz, green big eyelids, and the king slammed on the ground with a rumbling. Accompanied by an earth-shattering loud noise, the earth suddenly shattered and Zamaz landed on the back of his head, dizzy for a while. Scoff. Brawly pressed Zamasu's dipping bag and rubbed it on the ground of this realm of the King of Gods. After sliding for a distance of hundreds of meters, Brawly seemed to be a little confused and felt a little too lame. Then, Brawly hit Zamaz's chest with a stroke, and the blood in his mouth was crazy. Spray, because it is the green lying on the ground, the four spinners are also slightly lifted upwards. Brawly grabs Zamath's ankle. Bang bang. Brawly grabbed Zamaz and beat him from side to side. At the scene, Zamaz's loud shouts came from the building. Kavas was dumbfounded and his eyes widened. This human being is so cruel, one Zamasu screamed, and then there was no sound. Brawly also stopped attacking, holding Zamasu's ankle and holding it up high. Are you alright? God. Brawly smiled. Looking at it carefully, Zamasu seems to have fainted. Is that faint? I only used 10% of my strength. You are too weak, right? Brawly looked at Zamath with all his eyes. Suddenly, Zamasu's hand knife stretched out abruptly. Zamaz hardly hesitated, the hand knife pointed towards Brawly's heart, and he stabbed fiercely. When he saw that the hand knife was about to pierce Brawly's heart, he saw Brawly sneer and use 2 fingers directly clamp the hand knife that was assassinated. What? Zamaz's face changed again. What? Just killed me by pretending to be stunned. Brawly chuckled. Zamasu's danger has become more and more shocking. 26 The power of this human being has completely made Zamasu feel frightened. Too strong. How can there be such a powerful human shit? Brawly kicked out abruptly and hit Zamaz directly in the head. Immediately, Zamaz flew out far away, swiped an arc in midair, and hit the ground heavily. When he looked at it again, Zamasu has fainted. Really dizzy this time. Bing is not beaten. Brawly shook his head. Kavas. Better yet, though. Brawly clapped his hands, sat down beside Roger, and Kavas was silent. Kavas also saw it, but fortunately, this Brawly subordinate stayed silent and did not kill Zamaz. If this Brawly was serious, Zamaz would have died long ago. Chapter 343 Kess. Don't mess with Roger. Haha, I heard the King Godshine say that the human beings in the 7th universe are very powerful. Seeing it today is really unusual. Kavas sneered. Gevaz, what are you going to do with him? Asked Roger. Gavs was a little confused. Your people knocked out my people, and you still let me deal with him. Did I hear it wrong? You heard that right. What I'm asking is, what are you going to do with Zamasu? Roger smiled and wondered what Roger Angel meant. Gavs didn't understand. At a certain time and space, Zamasu killed all the Kaio gods. What did you say, Roger? Kavas stood up suddenly. I know you don't believe me, but I don't need to explain to you. Roger smiled at the presence of power in Roger's hands. The light in the crystal ball flickers. Universe 10, rung westward. This is the domain of the god of destruction. Ramsey is the god of destruction in Universe 12 and Universe 12. Ramsey is a god with an elephant's head, a long trunk, 2 exposed tusks, and a tail behind him. On Ramsey's side is the angel Kess. Angel Kessie has a baby face, and is relatively short. It is estimated that it is only 160 centimeters. It looks like a little rocks. Have you heard? Rumsey Road. What's the matter? Asked Chris. Universe 7 is a mess right now. Rumsey smiles. Universe 7, what happened? Chris asked. Kes, don't you know? Ramsey asked. There is a trainee angel in the 7th universe who has experienced the god of destruction and the Kaiwang god in the 7th universe. Especially the guy Beerus. Haha, it is said that he was docile to clean up by this apprentice angel. Lord Long Shangxi, you are talking about Angel Roger. Kes understood as soon as she heard it, and said with a smile, I also heard that the youngest son of Lord Grand Shrine, Myers, is also training in the 7th universe. The 7th universe is really lively. Rumsey exclaimed. Not really. Kays nodded. Fortunately, he didn't choose to practice in our 10th universe. Otherwise, our universe would not be peaceful. Ramsey was very fortunate. I heard that the core of the 7th universe is the trainee Angel Roger. It seems that the core of the 6th universe belongs to Angel Roger, and the ownership of the core of the 7th universe is still in the 7th universe. Chris pondered. Ramsey gave Chris a look. Is this kind of thing so clearly discernible? It has nothing to do with us anyway. It was not the core of the 6th universe or the core of the 7th universe. If you lose it, you will lose it. It is not the core of our 10th universe. Good fun. It's best that their cosmic cores are gone. Let you two cats bully me a long time ago. Ramsey clearly remembers that, about 3,500 years ago, in a competition with them, he was cracked by Beerus and Elephant Paw. This is the most precious thing. It took Ramsey 3,500 years to raise the ivory well, Kes froze for a moment. What's wrong? Asked Ramsey. What are you talking about? Roger is calling me. Saito Roger, that apprentice angel from the 7th universe. Why did he call you? Humsey is a little confusing and I don't know. Kes smiled. I have never contacted him. I have a bad feeling. Mushi pondered. Kessie didn't have any hesitation, and immediately answered Roger's phone. Is that Roger? Hi, I'm Chris. Chris greeted Docs in a friendly way. There is a very important thing here that needs you to come over. Roger said, it's better that you bring the god of destruction with you too. What's the matter? Where to go? Asked Chris. I am in the realm of the king of gods in your 10th universe. Roger said, however, you are flying too slowly. I have no patience to wait any longer, and I will ask Gurhas to pick you up. That's it, let's meet and talk to Roger. Kes. You should talk about it first. What is the competition? Kes originally wanted to ask, but Roger didn't give him a chance at all. Kes, what happened? Langgoxi is also a bit confusing and I don't know. Chris shook his head. Roger is in the realm of the 10th universe. In the realm of the king of the universe. What is he doing in the realm of the king of our universe? According to rumors in the realm of the gods, Rana is all about harming angels. It can be said that a god like the real god, as long as he doesn't provoke Roger, will not take care of him. It's just, what are you going to do when you go to Roger to go to the realm of the king of god this time? Lord Kavas will come to pick us up right away, we'll know in a while. Kes said. Just as he was speaking, Kavas teleported and appeared next to Ramsey 863, Ramsey, Kessie. Jeevius greeted him, but he didn't salute. Not all the realm gods of the universe are as cowardly as the realm gods of the 7th universe. When they see the god of destruction, they have to salute. The realm gods of the 10th universe, Kavas and Ramses the two are of the same age, and they are on an equal footing. Without salute Kavas, what's wrong with Roger? Ramsey asked. It seems to be because of the northern realm king Zamasu. It is said that Zamasu killed all the realm gods in another time and space. It's just kind of weird. Jeevius exclaimed. What? Zamasu killed all the kings of the universe? Kessa's face changed slightly. How can it be? Ramsey smiled. I've met that northern realm king Zamasu once. Although his strength is not bad, it is impossible for him to kill all the realm kings. Besides, what happened in another time and space is just anecdotal, and no one knows if it is so. Before we go to Roger, I'm here to tell you too, you must remember what Chris said. Explain what, Chris you said. Rumsey nods. Kavas is also all ears. Don't mess with Roger. Kers said, his identity is bigger than you think. Chapter 344 I heard that you were the eldest daughter of the great priest. Identity. Not a trainee angel. Long Maxie is also a little puzzled if it is really just an ordinary apprentice angel. Do you think the 7th and 6th universes will become what they are now? Kays hurriedly stopped talking. Kvass also moved in his heart, and his eyelids changed color. Brief silence. There was a rumor in the god realm that the archangel is about to be reborn. Could it be true? Kvass shivered and asked in shock. Kvass, you know what? Kris smiled and nodded. What? Lord Archangel. Ramsey's face changed again and again. No wonder he offended the children of Lord High Priest, and Lord High Priest didn't do anything to him. I've said everything I need to say, and you'll look at me and act in a moment. Kays ding ah. As a result, Kvass performed teleportation several times in a row, without success. Very scary. Roger is actually the reincarnation of the Archangel. Such an important thing. How did I only know now? It's a pity that I just treated him as an ordinary trainee angel. Will Roger kill me? Kvass is frightened, and teleportation fails. After performing it 5 times, Kvass brought the angel Kes and the god of destruction Ramsey to Roger's side. Kvass, why did you go to destruction god realm and your legs started to tremble when you came back? Roger looked at Kvass with a smile. Cough, cough. When I'm older, a teleportation will make me a little bit powerless. Kvass smiled awkwardly. That elephant, are you the god of destruction in the 10th universe? Roger turned his head to look at Ramsey. Yes, Roger Angel, my name is. Roger waved and beat him halfway through his self-introduction. The name is just a code name, it doesn't matter what it is called. Roger waved. Ramsey. Kris, you look a little kawaii. Roger looked at Cosmos again. By the way, I heard that you are the eldest daughter of the High Priest. So, you are also a child of the Great Shrine? Roger asked Kris. Hey Roger, where did you hear that? Kris wiped sweat. On a picture book. Roger smiles. This comic book. You are so good at joking. Kris doesn't know what to say. The realization of the gods, you use a comic book to say. Do you think it is appropriate? They say you can fool around, but I didn't expect that. Actually, what Roger said wasn't really a hoax. Roger vaguely remembers that in an Easter egg in the Dragon Ball Super comics, the king of the 7th universe, Shine, asked Wes a question. Are all angels the children of great priests? Wes did not deny it, and said that the angel of the 10th universe, Kessie, is the eldest daughter of the great priest. However, after coming to the Dragon Ball world and transmigrating into an angel, Roger discovered that things were not what he saw. The children of the Grand Priest, there are only 5 angels, Kellen, Vados, Weiss, Myers and Ruosi. In fact, we are all equivalent to the children of the Grand Priest, because the Grand Priest is the great father of all the angels. It's no exaggeration to be called his child, Kays smiled. What you said seems to make sense. Roger nodded. I thought the Grand Priest liked the tree. Kes. Why did you make the Great Priest speak so filthy? Do you think this is appropriate? Kris just stopped talking. You have come just in time. Roger said, go to the guy lying over there. Mox wipes the sweat. Didn't you call us? What told us to come at just the right time? It is rumored that Roger is the most shameless angel. When I saw it today, it was indeed a sign of shamelessness. What did he do wrong? Asked Kris. Kvass didn't tell you. Roger rhetorically. Kris wipes the sweat again. Shouldn't it? It took 3 minutes and 38 seconds for Kvass to leave to pick you up. Did he say nothing? Asked Roger. Said is not clear enough. Kris laughed. Well, since I didn't say it clearly enough, I'll make it clearer. Roger tapped the table lightly with his fingers, and replied indifferently, the matter is very simple. This Northern Realm King Zamasu, in a future time and space, killed all the realm gods of the universe, causing a certain death in the future. There is a big problem in this time and space. If this is the case, then we have to destroy him, so as not to have the same problem in our time and space. Ramsey suggested on the side. It's just destroying him. For this kind of thing, I still call you all the way. Suji smiled. Look, this Brawley by my side can easily kill him. Ramsey rolled a glance at Brawley. Chris also looked at Brawley. Brawley turned straight into the legendary Super Saiyan. Ramsey was a little surprised. So powerful human. Although the power of this human being is not comparable to that of Beerus, it has at least 50% of Beerus's strength, and the 7th universe actually has such a powerful human being. What does Roger mean? Kay's knew it wasn't as easy as she thought. Roger gave Brawley a look. Brawley understands. Angel Roger prevented the tragedy from happening in the 10th universe or even the entire universe, strangled the tragedy in the cradle, and corrected the mistake in time. Brawley said, if this happens in our 7th universe, gods of other universes have discovered the problem, and our 7th universe will definitely be grateful. Kess. Ramsey. After all, this is coming for a reward. Brawley. Close. Roger scolded, then smiled. You don't mind, Brawley doesn't understand. Such a major thing happened. I just came to solve the problem. How could I want the treasure of your 10th universe? That's too outlandish. Silk. Ming Sigwas. Stop pretending. We've all lived for thousands of years. What do you mean? Can't we see it? Is it really appropriate for the two of you to act like this? Roger, Brawley is right. We'd love to give you the treasures of the 10th universe. Kess hurriedly said. Chapter 345 The 10th Universe, You Provoke the Child of Destiny. As for whether Zamas did this kind of thing in a future time and space, Kessie thinks that it is absolutely impossible for Roger to do it or not, and he will know after a check. As an angel, Roger, there's no need to lie about this kind of thing. Treasures are rare. Roger shook his head. How could I want the cosmic core of your universe? It's too much, Chris. Mincy. You are too much. You want the cosmic core of our universe. Ahem, Roger, Yu-Gi-Oh core can't be given to you. Kessie coughed and smiled bitterly. You can do whatever you want with other things. It's okay, just make an IOU. I don't want it now. Roger rode. An IOU. Kessie couldn't keep up with the festival committee. Look, I have several IOUs here. If Roger said that, there were 5 IOUs in his hand. The 5 IOUs are Vados, Weiss, Myers, Ruosi, and Makalita. The 5 angels owe Roger a total of 9,000 points of God's domain. After seeing these IOUs, 100 Graham broke into a cold sweat on his face. Very scary. 9,000 points in the realm of straight gods. Just give me a 1,000 point true God domain IOU, and pay me back in installments, and forget about the core of the universe. Roger, I'm afraid that you want the core of the universe to be false. It's true that you want the realm of the true gods with me, right? Otherwise, this kind of thing can be solved by letting Ramsey come over, so why should I come here in person? Kessie, think about it carefully, it's just an IOU of 1,000 points in the realm of straight gods. You don't lose anything, but it saves the loss of the 10th universe for you. Roger said, you should know that if something like Zamas happened in our time and space, I am afraid that Lord Quanwang will directly wipe out your 10th universe in a fit of anger. Kessie is speechless. What you said makes sense. Besides, Kessie, you gave me 100 points in the IOU in the realm of straight gods, and I just made up 10,000 points, rounded up the whole number, and I will thank you. Roger persuaded again. Get it around BCEH, you are trying to get the real God domain to 10,000 points. I heard that the real God domain of the previous archangel reached a height of 10,000 points, but the previous archangel was cultivated by himself. It's better for you to ask other angels directly. Are you not good at cultivating yourself? Self-cultivation is too much. Roger shook his head and sighed slightly. It is said that the 1,000 points of the previous archangel's straight God domain took a long time to accumulate. I don't want to waste time on cultivating the realm of the true God. Kessie doesn't know what to say. However, to ask Chris to give Roger 1,000 points of true God domain, although it is only a loan, but Chris is not enough to give it in vain. Chris doesn't agree. Roger, then I'll tell the truth. After thinking for a while, he smiled and said, just because of Zamasu, I won't give you so much truth. It's only 10 o'clock if you want to give it. Even if Zamasu committed an unforgivable sin in a future time and space, at least for now, he has not done anything. Chris, it doesn't make sense for you to say that. Roger sighed. Are you really going to wait until he's made a mistake to correct it? Having said that, the end time and space have nothing to do with us. Chris smiled. In this time and space, we just need to take precautions a little bit. Do you think that if you can really prevent it, you can stop it? Roger's smiling, or else. Chris also had a smile on his face. You all commented, what do you think Zamas will do next? What will Roger say to the Zamas? Time, Kavas and Ramsey are scratching their heads. The devil knows what he's going to do. In fact, the two of them have always wondered how Zamasu killed many Kaiwan gods. Although Zamasu's strength is not bad, it is not so easy to kill all Kaiwan gods in the universe. Don't know, Roger smiled and looked at Chris. What about you? You don't know what he will do. Kesru. The dragon of the gods of the 6th universe and the 7th universe can achieve any hope. Roger smiled. Zamasu rounded up 7 super dragon balls and swapped bodies with the Son Goku of our universe. Kessie and others suddenly realized. But who is Sun Wukong? Look, Chris, this is already at stake in the fate of our universe. Roger said, you probably don't know. Sun Wukong is the son of destiny of our universe, so he occupies the body of Sun Wukong. I have to do a good calculation on this account. What do you want to calculate? Asked Chris. With my previous temper, I will directly shatter the 10th universe. Roger mused, I will make the 10th universe pay. Ramsey's elephant trunk swayed from side to side, pale and terrifying. Is this guy going to shatter the entire 10th universe? Kavas is even more frightened. What kind of student am I accepting? That's it, Kes, you just need to give me an IOU, but you don't need to give me the realm of the gods, so it's okay to say it. Roger sighed, seeing that Ruok's docs didn't care for a while. Know what to say. Just need an IOU. Don't need to give the real god domain. Roger, what the hell do you mean? Chris really doesn't get it. Well, my patience is limited, Kessie, you are a beautiful woman, so I can calm down with you. If it were another angel, I would use force to solve it, okay. Roger shouted angrily. You sure? As long as IOUs, do not go straight to the realm of God. Kes asked for sure. Don't worry, if I say no, I don't want it. Roger's nod is just an IOU, yes, I promise you. Chris responded that an IOU appeared in Dox's hand, and quickly pressed the handprint and threw it away. The IOU appeared in Ranai's hands. Not bad. Roger nodded in satisfaction. Then, Roger, you also received an IOU, can Zamasu be handed over to us? Chris smiled. Ramsey, wake him up. Kes ordered. Chapter 346 Brawly, shoot Zamas into shit. Ramsey walked over to Zamath, who was still in a daze. Something sticky spewed out of Ramsey's elephant trunk, hitting Zamath in danger. Brawly. Can't you be any more disgusting? Zamas slowly woke up. When Zamas opened his eyes, he also immediately saw that Ramsey and Kes who appeared at the scene were Lord Ramsey. Zamas knew Ramsey. Ramsey said nothing. The little king of the Northern Realm actually asked the Angel of Kes to give Roger a 1,000-point IOU from the realm of the true gods. Although Roger said that this thing is just an IOU, it does not need to be cashed, but Ramsey is also ashamed of Kes. The dignified angel of the 10th universe actually let a trainee angel come to bully you. You are not an archangel yet, so bullying people like that. All this, Zamas is the culprit. Lord Langshishi, they belong to the 7th universe. They came to our 10th universe to find trouble. Zamas first told Ming Musi to look at him so calmly, without saying. Lord Ramsey, what do you mean by that look? Zamaz's heart is broken, Ramsay said, pointing his hand at Zamath's body. At the same time, the wrecking ball in Ramsay's hand also flickered out. Wrecking ball goes straight to where Zamaz is. Zamaz is shocked. Zamaz's figure flickered, and he actually avoided. Ramsay was stunned. This guy's reaction time is pretty quick. Xingran only used less than 10% of his strength, but this kid really made Zamaz flicker, and flew towards Roger. The next moment, I saw Zamaz's hand knife suddenly blooming. Immediately after Zuzu, Zamaz swung the purple-red hand knife and stabbed Roger's chest violently, blinding everyone. Zamaz, you have a snack. How did you go to assassinate Roger? Especially Kes and Brawley, but Roger's powerful Roger, who knew very well, stretched out a finger and resisted the knife that Zamaz stabbed. Zamaz rolled up that Roger blocked his own attack with just one finger, and the color of his eyelids changed and then became a small apprentice angel. Is he so powerful? How can it be? Am I underestimating the power of angels? Zamasu, in fact, if you were to be the god of destruction, it would be a good choice. Roger smiled, but unfortunately, you attacked me to show that you don't respect me. If you ran over and confessed your mistakes at the beginning, I might consider giving you a bad god internship. Zamasu's eyes widened. Brawley, slap him into shit for me. Roger didn't even bother to do it himself, so he told Brawley that there was no problem. Brawley said, and he walked over. Not good. 1-inch Zamaz was shocked, gave up attacking Roger, and the energy flame in his hand bombarded Brawley. Brawley waved his hand gently, and the energy flames were sent flying for the next moment, and Brawley once again slammed Zamaz's head into a rumbling. Brawley pressed Zamasu's head and slammed it on the ground. I see how big the god realm of the King of Fragrant Realm is. Brawley said that if you press Kanzamas's head, it will be like a push machine running fast in this realm of kings and gods. It's been 10 minutes. Brawley then came back after catching the dying Zamaz. Brawley was in Roger's face from a distance. Zamasu was slapped into a piece of crap with a slap. Kavas. Is this the human being in the 7th universe? Saiyan, I remember. Ramsay also looked at Brawley silently. What a powerful class. I'm afraid, this human's strength is almost catching up with his own 70% strength, right? Given time, this person will surely surpass himself. Well, this is the end of the matter, we should also say goodbye. Roger smiled, winking at Kavas. Jeevius looked confused. You wink at me. You have something to say, okay. Okay, thanks Roger this time. Chris nodded. You're welcome, then let's go. Roger said, and winked at Kavas again. Kavas, what do you mean? Kavas, you go and send Roger Angel. Kaze suddenly understood. How's that? I'd better fly back by myself, although I'm a little tired. Roger Dugworth has already lived for a long time. Hearing Roger's words, how can he not understand his true meaning, so shameless? You asked me to take you back, can't you just say it directly? Do we have to beg you to send you? Cough, it doesn't matter, I happen to be idle too, so let me send Angel Roger. Jeevas smirked. Since you insist again and again, then I will reluctantly agree. Roger nodded. Kavas. Kesman West. Kavas brought Ruo Roger and Brawley, and with a flickering figure, the realm of the realm Roger, who appeared in the 7th universe, just returned to the 7th universe, and he kicked Kavas and flew back. Roger reprimanded. Kavas looked confused, and the whale flew back in shock. In such a scene, the old Zhuangshan and Zion were so frightened that Roger was beating the Zhuangshan of the 10th universe. What's happening here? Gurgans, you bear the primary responsibility for Zamath's mistakes. Roger reprimanded with his arms covered his face. Do you really think that Zamasu was wiped out in our time and space, and this matter is over? Gurhis raised his head and stared at Roger, a little unresponsive. In the time and space that came, the human beings on Earth and even the entire universe are facing a huge crisis, and I have to send someone to save the future time and space. Tell me, how troublesome is this thing? Roger continued to reprimand Kavas for a second, and sure enough. Although the matter of Zamaz in this time and space has been solved, there is still Zamaz in the future. In fact, the real evildoer is the future Zamaz. As a realm god, you didn't have insight into the evil in the heart of the real realm god, and you didn't properly guide it, which would lead to this kind of thing happening. Roger wrote. Old King God. King Shine. Roger is definitely killing chickens and making monkeys. Said this whole thing in front of Kvass, wasn't it for us? We just listen. Also, Roger likes and dislikes the guy Zamaz who doesn't know how to provoke them. Zamaz. Old Realm King God does not know. 10. Chapter 347 Black Goku and Zamasu. Old Ancestor, Zamasu is the Northern Realm King of the 10th universe, and also the practical Realm King God. But this entry seems a bit extreme, and it is estimated that he is provoking Roger Angel. Xion lowered his voice and nodded lightly to explain the old king of the province. Angel Roger, I will do my best to solve the crisis of future time and space. Since Kvass is in a hurry, you can go to the future Zamaz's time and space now, and shoot this on Zamaz's body, which can be regarded as barely making up for the mistakes you made. Roger said, and Roger handed after a light ball that flashed bright flames. The light ball was about the size of a ping-pong ball, with endless divine power. This is the realm of true gods. Do you know what to do with Kvass's face a little discolored? Roger asked. How should I do? Grid, 840 inches Gas asked in a puzzled way. What are you going to do? Roger stared. After I went to the end of the world, did I feel affection for Zamaz? Then let him accept these real gods. Kvass asked. Anyway, I'm his teacher too, so he shouldn't be fine, right? I really don't know how you became the king of the realm. Roger reprimanded. If you do this, he will kill you directly. Also look to Roger Angel to enlighten me. Kvass salutes. You have to do this. Roger taught Kvass a bitter smile, and silently addressed Roger. How? Do you have any opinion? Roger looked at Kvass. I'm going. Kvass said quickly. When Kvass said action, he acted, took out the space-time ring corresponding to time and space, and Kvass disappeared. The 10th universe, the realm of the king of the gods. Kessie's heart moved a little, and the color almost changed. What's wrong, Chris? Rumsey shook the elephant's trunk and asked if it was okay. Kvass may have gone to the end time and space where Zamasu is. Kess said what? Rumsey's face changed again and again. Kvass, you can have a snack. What did you do in the future Zamasu plane? If you are destroyed by Zamasu, I have to disappear with my reputation. Kaze. Find a way, Ramsey said quickly. Up to now, I can't help it. I don't have a space-time ring. Kess shook his head. Jiku. Saying that, I'm going to disappear. Ramsey grabbed his elephant's trunk tightly, pinching it in the next moment. Rumsey. You pinch your nose when you're nervous, so you can't breathe. Can you do it another way? Kess was speechless for a while. The future, Zamasu time and space. Zamaz is in a room of a dilapidated building on Earth, drinking tea, with an endless smile on his face. Zamaz is next to Black Goku. That human named Trunks, where did he go? Black Goku said solemnly. It doesn't matter, wherever he goes, at least there are no people or gods who can oppose us in this universe. Zamaz smiled. Our Human Zero plan can be implemented ahead of schedule. Black Goku nodded. Yes, I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Zamaz smiled slightly, with a look of anticipation on his face that the two were talking, and he sensed a familiar aura coming from a distance. Is it the breath of Kvass? How can it be? Wasn't he killed by me? Zamaz was stunned for a moment, incredulous. It may have come from another time and space. Look at it in the past. Black Goku guesses. I'll go by myself. Let's talk about what the old guy, Yushi, wants to do. Zamasti. Black Goku has no objection. Zamaz flickered and appeared directly opposite Kvass. Lord Realm God. Zamaz saluted slightly, but the corner of his mouth was a little bit of contempt. This is the world you created without human beings. Kvass looked around, and he was surprised at this world. Just as Roger said in that case, there is no cure for all of this, and it is all the work of Zamaz, the culprit of evil and evil. Kavas, put away your boring human guardian theory. Zamaz sneered, showing his fierceness. Since you came here to die, then I have no choice but to fulfill you. Zamaz, you are wrong, I am not here to teach you. Kawas smiled, and Rosamas said calmly that I came this time to help you. I deeply realized my mistake. In fact, I thought about it carefully. You were right, humans have indeed done it. Too many bad things, they destroy the bad, they are brutal, they are hopeless. Zamaz. Did you get the wrong line? Gebaz, this is not your style. Zamaz smiled coldly. Zamaz, I used to be too slick. I naively thought that I could change the universe and change human beings. Zamaz. You explained earlier. If you say it sooner, I won't have to kill you. You old man, do you really know you're wrong? In order to express my apologies to you, I deliberately stole 50 points of the realm of straight gods from our time and space pleasure. Jeevius said if, in his hand, the 50-point true god domain that Roger gave him appeared in his hand. What? The realm of page gods is a special kind of energy possessed by real gods, and you can feel it yourself. Jeevius explained, and then gently pushed the realm of the true god to Zamaz's side, and Zamaz gave Jeevius a dubious look to the right. But after thinking about it carefully, Zamaz is not too suspicious. How is this thing used? Zamaz looked at the realm of the real gods flying over, and asked if the realm of the real gods could help you and change the world completely. Gebaz smiled, unfortunately, I'm too old to use so many realm of the real gods. Is the use of the real god domain related to age? Zamaz asked. Yes, it will affect your lifespan. Gebaz nodded. Be careful, try to use as little as possible, then I will be at ease. Zamaz sneered that I am immortal. What am I afraid of affecting my lifespan? Zamath reached out to the ping-pong ball-sized ball of straight gods. However, at the moment when Zamaz and the group of true god domains just came into contact, the true god domain directly drilled into Zamaz's body. Zamarston was wary. What did you do to me? What exactly is this? Zamaz's eyelids are discolored. Chapter 348 Projection Across Time and Space. Do it yourself, Zamath. Kavas smiled. Kavas's figure flickered, disappeared in an instant. Not good. Be cheated. Zamaz came to his senses immediately. But it's obviously not appropriate to track Kavas now. After all, Kavas has returned to his own time and space, and Zamasu can't pass the time and space ring back to the past. Zamaz bared his teeth. Then, Zamaz began to think of a way to control this small group of straight gods within his body. As a result, something that made Zamaz feel desperate happened. In this group of true god domain, he couldn't control himself. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't touch it. Zamasu hurriedly called Black Goku over and asked him to help find a way to the real god domain. Never heard of it, He Wukong pondered. Don't be anything, you have to find a way to get this thing out of the body. In order to give this to me. Surely there is no adverse reaction to this thing before I have no peace of mind. He Wukong asked. Not yet. Zamaz shook his head, but, there's a weird mass of energy in my 12 body, I always feel uncomfortable. Fortunately, you are immortal, I don't think it's a big problem. He Wukong mused, if you really want to get this weird thing out, I have an immature suggestion here. What do you think? Zamaz nodded. If you blew you into scum, you can recover, but this so-called true god domain, I am afraid that Bo will be lost with you, right? Black Goku laughed. That's a good idea, let's get started. Zamaz has nothing against Nilong. Black Goku released a huge energy bomb, which directly bombed Zamasu into scum. But soon, Zamaz's body returned to normal. How about it? Gone? Black Goku asked with a smile. Zamaz. Don't tell me this thing is still there. Black Goku's danger is slightly discolored and that's exactly what it is. Zamaz Nangya, I feel like this thing has merged with me. Hateful. What is the use of the competition? The main time and space, the 7th Yumao, the realm of the king of the gods. On the water ball with the scepter in Roger's hand, a picture was suddenly projected. It was the picture of Zamasu and Black Goku in the end time and space, as if they were playing a 3D game. The main point of view is Kanma's. The next moment, the screen shook and disappeared. The signal is not very good, and the real God field is used less. Roger shook his head and Kvass was silent, looked at Roger silently, and then looked at Black Goku beside Zamasu. Maybe that person is Sun Wukong, who Zamasu changed his body through the Dragon of God. The old king of the gods and the god of the gods of the world are also puzzled. This is the first time I saw Roger Ning the real God field come out and put it on Zamasu in the last Zamasu time and space. Also, how is that person Goku? However, the feeling in his eyes doesn't look like Goku. Angel Roger, may I ask, what is the purpose of injecting these realms into Zamasu's body? Can you control him? Asked Kvass. Control him? Why control him? Roger rhetorically. That's, Kvass puzzled. I just simply chatted with a video surveillance screen. Roger smiled slightly. Kvass. Old King God. Kaiwang God. Gavs was completely speechless. Simple measures to build a video surveillance screen. How free are you? You even let me go to the end of the day. It's a pity that it's a pity, the signal is not very good, and the real God domain is used less. Roger's on side. Look, the picture flickering is unstable. If you appreciate it later, I'm afraid the chain will drop at a critical moment and the signal will not be good. Kvass really didn't know what to say. Angel Roger, how can we make the signal better and more stable? The old realm god quickly asked me to estimate that I would go to the realm of the true god at 10 o'clock again and give it to Zamasu, and the signal would be completely stable. Roger said. Having said that, Roger once again condensed 10 points of the realm of straight gods. Gavs, one more question. Kvass, I'm still going. How did I go to fool Zamasu? Don't need to say anything, just leave the 10-point real stretch field and come back directly. Okay, as ordered by Roger. Kvass didn't expect it to be so easy this time. It's really easy to just go to Zamath time and space, leave the 10-point true god domain, and come back. Kvass disappeared with the 10 points of the realm of the gods in a flash. Kvass reappeared in the last Zamasu time and space. Zamasu and Black Goku are studying how to eliminate those real gods. After, suddenly Kvass, what have you got in my body? Zamasu said quickly. This is it, Jeevius said, waved his hand, and threw the 10-point true god realm out. Zamasu frowned. After the 10-point true god domain appeared, it directly and automatically hit Zama 427's, and Zamasu's face changed again and again, and he was angry. Kvass. Is this thing automatic? Then when I first came, what was the point of saying that? Kvass didn't say much nonsense. Through teleportation, he disappeared in a flash. Damn, Zamasu was furious and let the Kvass run away again. That ball has grown again. Zamasu bared his teeth. Feeling bad about it now? Black Goku asked. No, there was no reaction at all. Zamasu gritted his teeth or called them. Let them also think of a way. He Wukong suggested not to be in a hurry, since there are no adverse reactions now. Let this thing be in the body. We have more important things to do, we can't waste time because of this thing. Zamasu decided to ignore the true god in the body. At least, there is no strange reaction in the body now. The main time and space, the seventh official, the realm of the king of the gods. This time, Roger has seen the projection cast by the angel's scepter, and it looks much cleaner. This is Roger's angel. Is this a projection across time and space? The old realm king reacted immediately, mentioning how surprised he was.